Can you hear me? Are we good? It's probably buffering a little bit, but let's see the best that we can do here. We good? No, it was like small outage detected in your area yesterday, and then I looked at the coverage map. It's like enough of Houston to affect like 1 million people. It's like half of the city is out of internet right now. And AT&T said it could be fixed by 3 a.m. last night, and then this morning it's like 9 a.m. this morning. Who freaking knows? Hopefully I can connect to my futures. It is having a hard time bringing... I don't even know why. Like, I'm connected, and it's not bringing up my futures tickers. I don't know. It's a little spotty and weird on my CQG. It's like not really... Let me try to log into Thinkorswim, though. It's lagging hard. Oh, I know. Let me try to, like, load. Hear me? The camera is... Try to go as light as I can. I'm gonna close everything that I have open. So its lower bit rate should be like less. Y'all can see it. Something like that. And they're all without internet. Boo. Be a little more clever here today. 5G is absolutely fine, but when they scroll, they wake up, they're on their phone. 9 o'clock in the morning, so now it's taking a little bit longer. It's gonna last for maybe like an hour. All right, we working? Let's see if I can connect the futures. Damn, I got futures too. Let's go. All right, babe, thanks. Okay, by the way, I'm about to flip the camera on. Okay, guys, hold up. Where... All right, baby, let's go. Let's see if we're live. We're working. All right. Y'all see me? We good? Is better? All right. Let's see what we got. Oh my God. Okay, this might actually work for a little bit. We've got a couple internet connections to play with down here. I'm tethering on to a different network, and this might actually work for a little bit. If you guys can see me, hopefully we're good. Okay, 585.50. That's 20 points higher. 98.08. Y'all hear me? You good? Hey, all right, this might work. This might work. Okay. Make sure I got everything set up. Bull setups, MHP nearby. That's good. Buying the dip today if I can get there. Maybe no face cam. Guys, listen. Thank you for suggestions. It's not the... doesn't matter if there's a face cam or not. An encoder encodes one video stream. Whether I turn everything on or off, it's not going to make it go faster. It's one video stream no matter what. My computer's fine. The internet's down in Houston. So, don't worry about giving me suggestions, you guys. There's nothing we can do to fix it. All the rich little grannies that live in my area are sitting there surfing their Facebook on their phones right now, congesting the network. There's nothing we can do. Right now, the internet is down in the entirety of West and North Houston. You know, essentially like 1 million people are without internet right now. So we're tethering off of a different network. Okay, let's try something here. Let me make sure I got my DD bands going. You have to just kind of deal for a minute as best you can. Should be fixed by 9 a.m. All right. I love you guys. We're going to try to make this work. Oops. So 59.09 is monthly hedge pressure. Half gap resiliences are negative in Nasdaq, so be very careful today. Today's not a sell-off day, at least for half gap resistance. I think while today we'll be pulling back to maybe here and then trading off of there. Setups, res less than 0. We'll pull back to there. S&P is still okay, which means it could still fight its way up, but I feel like this could probably pull back just a little bit. So watch out for today. Try digging out the cables. Well, I pulled the cartridge out. I popped up and down a couple times, hit the reset button. We'll see if that works, right? That was, I think that was Stu's idea or somebody's idea. That always seems to fix things. All right, so we're going to wait on this. Nothing crazy. I'm just kind of drawing my redistribution zone, get this kind of together. Reopen. Let's draw this. So I'm going to wait for better dips. I'm going to wait for dips, okay? Today's the day we wait for dips. Wait for dips today. No chasing highs. 516.5. 518.6. 2. That's going to be 80 about. Wait, hold on. 2.1 times 40. 84. So wait for dips, guys. 87, 387. Let it pull back, okay? Down is the move today. 21, 317. Okay. All right, so today, look, today, this is what I want. This is ideal. You're gonna wait. Wait for it. This is a maybe. But right now we have S&P resilience is greater than 0, Nasdaq resilience is not. So we're gonna have a kind of a choppy move like this. Okay. And then we're gonna watch these levels to see if the S&P deteriorates or gets better. This is likely not to be a big breakout and run yet without any kind of news or something or stabilization. So all eyes on res today. No irrational signals. We're good. Lower DD band is the ideal setup. So we're going to watch to see if resilience nosedives or stays put. Right now, no longs right now. Nothing yet. Nothing on this open. If there is any trade from here, it goes to there. This is the best case scenario that we'll look for. Best case. And then resist from there. Okay. Ideal will be to dip and wait, so we'll see when we get there. You guys hear me? If I dip, you dip, we dip. Can you, like, every once in a while, how is the stream holding up? Is it like in and out? Is it kind of like whatever? Please, guys, don't go watch someone else. I love y'all so much. What's the ideal value there? Lower DD band with positive bullish DD ratio. Yes, Simon, is it good? Is it kind of like somewhat in and out? Stable? Oh, very nice. Please don't go watch anyone else. I would be so sad if you left me. You guys can thank iDoc with her work internet. All right, so we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for lower MHP. Setup from here to here. Perfect setup, actually. Oh shit, I gotta log into my. All right, I gotta log into what's it called? By the next. Log in and do that. All right, got my DOMs here. All right, so we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We are gonna wait. Don't want to watch anyone else. Someone else drops nuggets of market wisdom. iDoc is the best. She's the best. All right, we're gonna wait. Best case scenario, we fill the gap and pull back, but we're gonna wait. Right? Today we wait, ladies and gentlemen. We wait. Trust me when I say always wait. Always wait. You're never gonna miss out on something. We're going to watch. We're going to see what happens with the result. All that you need to know today are these white lines. Let me make them bigger so you can see. The white lines are going to tell you everything you need to know about the flux. This is basically how it works. The white line is greater than 0. This is where we go. Let me draw this with white so it's easier to put your eyeballs on it. We call it resilience or res or R. R greater than 0. That's the push. R less than 0. These are your pivots. Okay, both of those. Okay. You have NASDAQ in the boat of R less than 0. So your stocks, your big tech stocks selling off today and tomorrow's monthly expiration as well. You have S&P doing okay. S&P is not doing the best, but it's still okay. Anything at 0, near 0, or above 0 is good. So with the S&P up and the NASDAQ is down, I always err to the side of the S&P. Therefore, I'm not shorting this like it's going to crash out because the S&P is still fine. There is sector rotating out of tech and into other things, which is fine. So the S&P is holding the fort. It's more likely from here, the more likely trade is we go up to the best case scenario and then kind of float back. If I were longing this, I would go just to that area and I would exit immediately. I would not bet on a breakout. I would bet on inside day today. If this market does this, I'm still not shorting. We don't short off of resilience. We don't short bull markets, period. Greater bull market, DD greater than half, check. SPY above MHP, check. And the monthly maps are probably good. I haven't looked, but let's look. SPY above MHP, check. Monthly maps, good. Breaking MHP would be devastating. I don't think we're going to have a devastating bearish sell-off market in the middle of the trade war doing better for itself. So I think we're good. Yep, monthly maps still bullish. Greater market, all bullish, okay? Greater, I'm going to write this down. So looking for dips, right? So in case there is some kind of selling pressure today, the DD band lower dip is a textbook long that I'd love to take. I'll put 10K on the board if we do that today. Super simple. So let's wait, right? Instead of chasing a couple pennies in front of a steamroller, let's grab something good. Do I think it's going to sell off? Nope. But if it does, I've got some really good setups right below me. I've got MHP nearby as well. This is nice little scalp area right here. SPY is probably the closer one, roughly about 8 points lower than here. So we'll check on S&P here. See how the S&P is like inching higher, Nasdaq inching lower. I don't bet against the market, but I would basically be saying this is probably where we go to that exit point on the long side. I always bet on the long side if the S&P is positive, although right now I don't see this is worth taking, especially my internet being shitty. I know I'm confident enough to take a trade, then go take a piss, and then come back like I did yesterday. But in this particular instance, I don't want to be stuck in a trade while the internet gets all wonky. So let me wait a couple minutes till my stuff gets better. Why don't I trade gold? I don't trade commodities anymore. Gold and oil and stuff, commodities have too many acting catalysts. They're a lot harder to day trade because there's a lot of things that can cause them to move. It was such a pissy trade. Wait, what trade was it, Sharad? What'd you do? Apple looked like it's gonna bounce. Hopefully we get the viewers up again. Kind of low right now, so maybe people will come back. I feel bad for everybody's eyeballs, whoever else's stream they landed on today. Yeah. That one from yesterday? Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh, the one from yesterday, the pissy trade. Oh, dude, I didn't even get the bit. God, I'm so slow today. You're totally right. That was a pissy trade. All right, I'm hungry, guys. Y'all chill for a minute. So got having that Starbucks drink from yesterday. What do the yellow and cyan lines on resilience mean? So they're tiebreakers at each one of these levels. If you see, Jamie, this is for you. So here, when the index gets here, your eyeballs go here and say, what are the stocks doing at their relative line, dash line as well. We look at all the stocks at the same area relative to their own open and close. And so the white line is a tiebreaker from here. The orange line is a tiebreaker from here. The blue line is a tiebreaker from here. So if this guy were to fall to here and you were like, is it going to bounce or is it going to break? We would go down at this moment in time and eyeball the orange line and say, well, the stocks are increasing off of their monthly hedge pressures. The stocks are getting a lot more pressure there. So therefore, it's more likely to hold. It's an aggregate that's used as a tiebreaker at each one of the levels. So color coded for your convenience. White for whites, orange for orange, and blue for blue. Hopefully that helps. So I'll demonstrate like when we get to one of those what we'll do. Where's the bottom on UNH? Oh, dude, I don't even know. It's done like 50%. Right, so we're holding out. Let me draw the ideal setup today. Ideal setup's gonna wait. Dude, and I got this like smoked pepper hummus. I'm not gonna lie. Not bad. I think there's Worcestershire sauce in here. It has that kind of like, flavor to it. Like, we're gonna wait, guys. Wait for something good. MHP is always a decent long setup. Let's see if we can't tap it there. A little scalpy scalp on MHP on SPY. S&P. Breaking MHP would be absolute devastation to the day. So we can take one attempt there on the tap. Oh, MHP resilience is slightly okay. Let's make anything off of that. Just a quick tap. I'm scared to be long in like all my accounts. I don't know what the fuck it's gonna do. MHP every single time, always take a long. If the market sells off today, we're totally fine all long off of hedge pressure, but this is decent for a scalp. I wouldn't take too much risk on this though. Hold on, let me get some chips. Got an iffy feeling about today, but lower DD band is still the play. If we lose monthly hedge pressure, then lower DD band's long and should recover. Could this day get any worse? This bag of chips is nothing but crumbs. Look at this. Look at this. I'm just kidding. This hummus is pretty good though. I can't even enjoy my chips. Breakfast of champions, I know. Alright, so be careful in case MHP does break. Keep your eyes peeled on this one. Oh, did I get in a little early? I did get in a little early here. Let me double check. Oh, yeah, I did. I got in maybe a couple points early. I'll take it. Come on, MHP. Let's go, baby. Let's run it, baby. Run it, run it. Resilience slightly better on ES. Now again, the question is, where will we go from here? With positive res, negative res, it's not going to go far. There's that option. If we break through there, there's that option. So the S&P is good, NASDAQ is bad. So we're rotating the S&P. It's going to probably dip a little bit before it tries to rally. That's the one sad point of this one. But I still believe in it. Let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm only taking a small long of MHP because all of the indicators are pretty decent for now. But like I said, I could be wrong. If I lose the setup from here, the best setup we have, the best ideal setup would be if we broke here. Ideal. The market crashed out, you guys. The market's selling off, let it. Okay. The market sells off, let it. I'll catch a dip there, or I'll wait for the confirmation here. Sit out anything below here is what I'm going to do today. Sit out and then wait for DD band. This is going to be such an easy day, guys. Even if I take a loss, I'm going to come back with 10K at the end of the day. Just watch. I almost hope I take a loss because I'd like to take $1,000 loss now, $10,000 later. Long again on reclaim. If we hold MHP, we're fine. Remember, I long and long and long and long until the market proves me wrong. So far, data is looking good. NASDAQ is rotating out, but the S&P's stocks soon. Okay, so people are rotating out of tech and rotating into bigger things. But we'll see if we get anything from this one. Maybe one little flushy flush red candle. Let me look at volatility really quick. And sorry, you guys, thank you for hanging in here in my internet problems today. It's not me this time. I did pay my bill, I think. I did. It's not my computer this time. It's not the data providers this time. It is the city of Houston this time. For some reason, a major fiber outage happened in my city. So the entirety of, I don't have the chart up anymore, but the entirety of northwest Houston and northwest suburbs, like if Houston is like this, and the city loop is like this, and the suburbs are like this. Oops, this is supposed to be a circle. The outage in my city actually extends from, it's like essentially here, all in the Galleria area, all the way up through the woodlands. It literally looks like this. And this is by far the most populous area of Houston, by the way. Oh shit, let's get money, free money, free money, free money, free money, free money, stop, free money, stop, go. I don't know if I can exit my trade. Oh! Oh! Hold on, hold on. What the fuck was that? Oh, I'm such an idiot. I got out way too early. Hold on. My shit must be lagging. Oh, there's the outage. I drew it. I have the map right here. All right, so that's like 6,000 bucks. I'm good. Oops, wait, hold on, let me go back. Hold up. I just panicked, guys. Why am I closing my trade? Well, I'm such an idiot. I'm having a rough morning, you guys. I'm not having it easy today. Okay, so here's the actual outage. All the way up, like way past, like close to Woodlands, Spring Branch, Bayou Bend, Spring Valley, Little Star Belch. And this is all like the richy rich bougie area. This is like our Beverly Hillsy area. So you got all your little old ladies sitting here on Facebook on the 5G today. Stop coloring. Don't tell me what to do, Kirsten. I'm having a bad day. I just closed at half cap, by the way. Hey, Tommy. Yo, bro. Hey, yo, how's your internet doing, dude? I found, well, we got three different networks in this house we can play with, so. I'm like heart in the middle of it. It's like 3 major zip codes, so one of them's mine. Fidelity is lagging on completing orders today. Dude, if you got a Starlink, Tommy, you need to come over to my house and help me out, bro. But I think we're good because I'm tethering off of iDoc's internet. She has her own. Oh my god. Right when we got those quick green candles to half, I pulled out. So let me just, now mine just Starlink is not down. I went right up to next pivot on NASDAQ. I'm sorry, on S&P. So as soon as I got my next pivot, I always trade to interrupt. That's it. Not bad. Did you guys know my P&L today? So far with funded next, I'm up. And again, these are, I've been trading my funded account, but I've been trading the other 6 or the other 5 I had. So all of those guys are up today. So this is, again, these are still in the eval stage. They're trying to get these passed, but this was whatever that is. What, 27, 16, 39, 43, 56, whatever it is. It's not even real. This is not even funded yet. But anyways, these are all winners just now. Tradeify straight to funded. Winners just now. That's the good one. So this is all the actually funded stuff. So 36, 37, 9, 46, 51, 5,000 bucks there. So we good. That was it for like 2 minutes of work. God, I wish my internet was working. I just feel so bad. I love you guys for staying with me. Y'all are all my best friends. Everybody here. I didn't even do roll call today. Don, Mad Yoda, PJ, DWG, Tommy, my buddy from Houston here. All right, we got Core Chamber. What's up, Ransom? What's up, Evan? What's up, Jack Deep? What's up, Kirsten? I love you guys. Y'all are here with me every single day. My best friends. Rodrigo, Robert, David, Suckface, Christoph. What's up, Christoph? Gabriel, Avnish, Squish, Azuban, etc. I'm reading up. Snake Eyes, what's up? Cereal chip, just add milk. Oh my god, that's so funny. You know what I could add that might make those chips taste a little better? Would be or be a little bit better. I should just add some hummus to the bag and just squish it all up together and then just eat it with a spoon. That way the hummus has a little crunch. But anyways, that was the trade today. The best I can, tethering off of you know, iDoc's work iPad, so we should be all right here. Decent. But yeah, so I trade to next resistance. I'm not trading for the big ups. Remember, I always trade to next resistance. I had this line from here to there with negative res pull out. Obviously, S&P's positive, so it might push a little harder. But we are below MHP, so all I did was scalp right to MHP, and I close. I had 2 contracts in all of these accounts. So the top 4 were NASDAQ. The bottom one was the S&P. I didn't realize that I had these in NASDAQ. I just panicked. I panicked, guys. I panicked. But that's good money's money. Did I trade overnight? I did take 2 trades overnight. Right when the gap filled, I loaded up a short. We were below MHP on S&P. 909. Yeah, so we were below MHP on S&P, number 1. And we were 21,317. We were on NASDAQ above. So the fact that we were below MHP on S&P, I just let the market fill the gap, and I took a tiny little short. In my not these accounts, but the Fund Index, the eval accounts, I just took the gamble. First trade on eval, I don't care taking a gamble. I need to pass them as quick as possible. If I blow them up on the first trade, I just reset them and start over. My trick with evals is to go aggressive and get as many. Your first trade, like, here's how I am with an eval. My first trade, I always hit it hard. And if I have a drawdown, or if my first trade is a loss, I actually cancel the account and start over. I don't want to work back to 0. I'll just pay money to start over at 0. So I usually gamble pretty hard on the first trade just to put green on the board. On these evals. So I hit it with 2 of them last night. No, 3 of them last night, yeah. And this morning I hit the other 2. So yeah, so with an eval account, when you're trying to get it passed and it's dirt cheap, your first trade, just hit it hard. I don't try to inch forward. I just get out the door. If I hit daily loss limit, or if I hit my first drawdown, or I hit whatever, I literally delete the account and start over. That's how I've always done it. I'd rather, instead of spending a day or 2 to work my way forward to potentially blow up, if the first trade isn't good, I cut the account, even if there's room still to play. I know that sounds bougie, but time is of the essence when you're doing these prop firms, and if you can get them super cheap, that's the way I do it. Man, I'm so sad that we don't even have like the same amount of people here. Oh, internet. Hopefully you guys stick around. We should be good. Hopefully everybody is not out there with their eyeballs burning out watching some loser try to trade. They should watch this loser try to trade. How's Inky looking? Pretty okay, but honestly, right now, just that quick scalp is the only predictable thing that I have. Hey, Dom. Hey, welcome to cadet school, baby. Appreciate the support. That might help me buy a Starlink. They'll be back at 11. Oh, Fletcher does know. They all 250 people just want the free giveaways, and they don't really love us. That's okay. Thank you, iDoc, for all your help. Now we're gonna wait. What I'm gonna do is NASDAQ resilience is it's still, the market may go up today. Breaking MHP is one of the problems we have. If it breaks through here, this is a play. Possibly this is a play, but I wouldn't bet any higher than that. So. Okay, I'm gonna wait. Honestly, the best play you guys want today, you can scalp in this little area if you want. I'm gonna wait just in case we get some kind of like mid-afternoon sell-off that goes to lower DD man. So the play is up still. Even if the S&P looks good, NASDAQ looks bad, you still side on the side of S&P. That's it. Good deal. Who's long today? Half gap is that's the play. Who got it? Did you guys get it today? I know I panicked, but I'm having a bad day, y'all. Today's not my best day in the world. Who's long today? MHP to half cap. You got it twice. Babe, man, you guys are so good. Just market printing money today. It's so easy today. The sex book. Nothing was hard. I wouldn't be betting any further than that, guys. You guys know the drill. Little iffy, a little kind of on the fence, but it doesn't mean the market sells off. I mean, the trade war is practically resolving. So really, you just have to think that the market just has no desire to sell off. If it does sell off by any mechanism like trade war, while it's good, we have expiration on Friday. It could create some downside pressure, but we don't bet on it, right? If the market has a surprise sell-off out of nowhere, you, me, and everybody else is ready to make 10,000 bucks or more on that dip. The ideal setup would be to retrace off a lower DD. That'd be perfect. So, right, yeah, there's still a pressure pushing this way, and then a pressure kind of pulling this way as the market is just rotating from one stock to the next in the MOPEX. I wouldn't be betting short. If the market decides to pull back, we wait for the exhaustion candle and come back here. Then we long there, and then we make a boat ton of money, and then I go buy myself a satellite so I can have uninterrupted internet. So the little River Oaks grannies of Houston aren't interrupting my streaming. I love my little grannies out here, though. Except for like the lady in my neighborhood that hates the person with the monkey. How can you hate a monkey? This is what I don't understand. You guys have seen the monkey, right? The pictures. I got to show them to you one more time. There's a lady in my neighborhood that has a monkey. It's incredible. Can I post them in here? She walks this cute little monkey around. Monkey's got a diaper and a dress. It's a little girl monkey. She's got like a bow in her hair and everything. She it's so cute. She looks like a cartoon. See if I can find it. Here it is. Let me show you something. Hold up. Let me show you the.
No pulling. Sorry about that. I remember when you were pregnant with her.
Oh my gosh.
You must have been pregnant with him. Okay. How old is she? You've been here 8 years.
She's 9.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while.
So this is like one of my neighbors.
Oh, yeah. She sometimes just swings with just her tail, and she looks like a bat. Yeah. She just stretches out. It's hilarious.
Anyways, so it's pretty cool. There's like this lady that walks her little monkey friend around on like a leash, and then I found out it's a spider monkey. Yeah. Are pet monkeys legal? I wouldn't know, but like I found out that monkeys have like 5 hands. This is what I've realized. Like the 2 hands are hands, the 2 feet are hands, and the tail's a hand. I'm getting grabbed by like 5 different appendages, dude. The monkey is the tail is as strong as a hand. Like the tail was like gripping my arm with like such force. I was like, damn, that was pretty interesting. But cute little monkey. Anyways, there's like some of the Karens in this neighborhood love to like go to the meetings and complain about the lady with the monkey. Like it lowers the property value of my house. How low class is somebody with that disgusting, filthy creature in my neighborhood? That's kind of what it's like over here. I love most of the cute old rich ladies here. They're all sweet and nice, but there's a couple of them they're just as Karen as it gets. And everybody hates them. They're like, you go to the neighborhood crawfish boil, and everybody's just like, you're this lady causing problems again. There's always one. Everybody has one in their neighborhood, I'm sure. But she's a showstopper, dude. When you drive by and she's got the monkey out, like everybody from the neighborhood is just like walking up to say hey. I'm sure a monkey's got to be the world's most annoying pet to have. I'm sure it's very, very needy, very loud, very all over the place. It's too smart of a pet. Like a dog is just gonna lay there like dumb and just be like, and just have a good time. A monkey is like, ooh, explore, ooh, a thing, ooh, this, ooh, that, ooh, what's this? Like, I feel like a monkey would be opening everything, not just like my dog will chew everything up, but he's like a destructive maniac. But a monkey will be like taking things apart, like unscrewing shit and like using tools and like prying things open. The dog just destroys something. The monkey's curious. That's the difference. The curiosity of that monkey would have it go the extra mile to like hide things, to move things, to like be smart enough to like play games. Like, you know what I'm saying? It would be absolutely annoying to have a monkey. Like a ferret. Yeah, like ferrets are, or like an otter. Like an otter is a very curious creature. An otter will be like, ooh, there's a hole. Ooh, here's a thing. Let's stick it in the hole and let's take a stick and like push it in the hole as far as it can go to see where it goes. We went to go swim with otters for my birthday. The lady used to say, we used to give otters pebbles to play with, but instead they would shove the pebbles into the jets of the hot tub and clog up the hot tub. They thought it was a fun little game to hide pebbles in there. It's like, you know, sometimes you're just happy that you have a dumb old dog that just destroys things because it's an animal. Like Pickle destroys things all the time. Hard to get mad at that. But I feel like a pet like a monkey would go out of its way to like outsmart you, to like replace your things and to be mean on purpose. You know what I mean? Like a toddler. Yeah. So, yeah, the spider monkey was extremely strong. Like, she would basically like crawl up my body by like grabbing my leg and grabbing my shoulder with her tail. And you could literally feel the strength of that pull that monkey had. But anyways, adorable as heck. But I can imagine it would be extremely exhausting to have a very smart pet, you know? Like Pickle, you leave him alone for 5 minutes with something important, he's probably going to chew it up. And you know that. You know, you hide something, he'll forget it exists. With a monkey, if the monkey sees you hide something, you're going to be like, I wonder why they're hiding that. I wonder if that's important to them. Let me break out of here and go get that thing and break it. Why are they hiding it? It must be important and valuable to them. Let me go get it. Then the monkey be playing mind games with you, like when you're not looking, at sneak over and grab it and stuff. I feel like you would deal with these kind of problems, like a pet that's outsmarting you. And I would be so annoyed. Like I would be at war with my own pet. How about a flying squirrel? They're adorable, but I would assume that a flying squirrel, aren't those be nocturnal animals? When you're trying to sleep, they're like scurrying around, making noise. You can train a monkey to bring drinks. I would train my monkey to drink a beer with me at the end of a hard work day, you know? Not that I'm advocating getting animals drunk. Nobody clip this. My monkey would be my best friend. We would do everything together. Okay. Just still waiting. Right. Longy to half gap. If you guys took that trade today, it was a very smart play. MHP to half gap with negative res. We didn't bet that everything goes higher with Nasdaq pulling back, but the market's likely not to sell off. We might get the scalp a couple more times, but at least getting it the first time was probably the best thing we could do. And I'm going to wait to see if I get something better. Ideally, if the market pulls back to lower DD band, the market will hand us a silver platter trade. Now, again, we will be below MHP. It would require an MHP break to get there. That's actually okay. Because trading small is all you need to do. And it would be lower DD band back to MHP. And you guys know the drill on that one. Textbook. It's the ideal setup. If the universe gives that to me, oh my God. Ideal scalp, I'll be a 10K day. Well, let's hope we get it. I should look into Starlink. That might be worth getting. Sounds like I want one. I know I'm kind of talking myself into it now. It's full. I like the more that I think about it, I'm like, ooh, I kind of want a clever pet. Because now, even though the monkey and I would be at war with each other in the house, in the world, oh, we'd be one hell of a team. Nobody could take us down. We'd be outsmarting anybody. I'd be like, hey, monkey, go grab that thing for me. And the monkey would be like, sneak over there, grab the thing, you know, bring it over. High-fiving the monkey. Oh, we'd be a force to reckon with. The two of us, oh, we can outsmart anybody. Hell yeah. Imagine like a cartoon, like the monkey like sneaking into a bank vault, walking out with like giant bags with dollar signs on them as we're like running out the door. You know, and like basically robbing banks together like a cartoon. That'd be amazing. Monkey and Pickle would the monkey would probably like, Pickle's very aggressive and they would probably fight a lot, but I think Pickle ultimately would be cool with having another pet. Automate, actually the monkey out of trade, yeah. Just push buttons. So by the way, I did an analysis on I was actually rethinking my thought about the funded next. We talked about funded next, the 50Ks were the better accounts. Let me show you guys something. I actually probably are changing my mind about it. 50K is the best value for your dollar, but it's not the easiest one to pass. And I'm gonna show you guys something about funded next. I want y'all to take a look at if y'all are using them. I'll tell you something funny. One of my funded next accounts, I was trying to fail on purpose and I accidentally made a lot of money. Like you can't, I made a tweet about it because with these guys, you have to basically like to go from a 50K account to a 100K account. I need to like fail the 50K account. I just can't come in and cancel it. Their customer service is like, you can't just delete an account. You can reset at any given time, but if you switch from one account to the next, they don't let you do it. And so basically what I have is I have 6 50K accounts. One is funded, 5 are not. And I kind of wanted to like blow up 2 of the accounts so I can actually get 1 100K and then 4 50s. And I was like, with customer service, I'm like, hey, can you just delete the accounts? I don't want them. They're very confused by this question. I was like, yeah, just delete the accounts. I want to start over. And they're like, well, we can't do that. You can reset at any given time, which is fine. But basically like the one that's up $2,300, it was me trying to actually blow up the account on purpose. Now, I actually was talking to somebody, one of my friends, and I was like, how do I blow up an account on purpose? And he was laughing. He was like, LOL, I do that all the time. He's like, here's the trick. Basically, you just open and close a position 10,000 times and then whittle it down with the commission. I was like, oh, that is a foolproof way to blow up an account. But I was trying to actually lose the damn account and I'm up $2,300 in profit. I can't even lose if I try to. Oh my God. So they wouldn't let me cancel so I can get, I wanted 1 100K to test and 4 50Ks. And that's, you get 300,000 total with these guys. And that's basically the spread that you get. Send it to you. Everybody was like, don't worry, I got you covered. Like I was like, oh, market's selling off. Let me chase the low. Oh God, it's making money. Okay, market's rallying. Let me short into the rally. Oh God, it pivoted lower. I'm like, I can't lose if I tried. So, so anyways, what I was saying is the market is just random. That was like my conclusion. I wrote that on Twitter. The market is just random. You can't even trying to lose on purpose is harder than trying to win. So basically the difference is when you look at these two, the drawdown you get for dollar you spend is the best. It's greater than 10 right here, and it's roughly 6 right here. It's very low on the drawdown per dollar. The scaling only goes up $500. Extra drawdown for $200. So you're like, what does the $200 actually get me? And I didn't think about it until I put it into practice. The 50Ks, while the best value of total drawdown, they give you a really small daily loss limit relative to this. This almost gives you double the daily loss limit, which means here of the 2,500 you can lose, you can only lose 1,200 a day. And with one NASDAQ contract, that's practically, you know, almost one trade. You get like 1 trade a day with this. This can open up the door to maybe 2 trades a day or cost basis management. So with $2,400 of drawdown of the 3,000 total, this is where the value actually is. You get a little bit more fat to play with, so you can long like 1 contract and then long 2 or 3 more. And you can basically trade 2 to 3 contracts inside of here. I don't think the DLL goes away once you're funded. That's the thing. And so to get a big fat balance, it's going to be very hard to grow an account with a $1,200 daily loss limit, no matter what your buffer is. That's going to suck ass. There's no way you can grow that account faster. You're basically limited to like 1 contract, and then what do you got to add when you're winning? And I don't like doing that. So with such a tight drawdown, you're limited to like 1, maybe 2 contracts, or you're busted for the day. I'd rather have this to have $2,400 of daily loss limit. That way I have plenty of buffer to play with 2 to 3 contracts. So I'm actually rethinking my thought. While the total drawdown is not scaling the best there, the daily loss limit does make it to where you can trade bigger, therefore you can get bigger profits. Is that worth another $200? And I say it is. the daily loss limit doesn't go away when you have the buffer, then that sucks. Right. So the 100K is where I want to be. So I was like, you know what? Let me test this out and let me fail 2 of these 50Ks. Let me fail one real quick. And I tried to fail it and it's up $2,300. I can't even try to lose, guys. Have I tried out Apteros? I haven't, but like I'm in the ballpark, Pips, to not like go outside of the circle of mains. There's so many new prop firms out there. I'm kind of like, there's kind of this consensus among most of the people that do what I do, is that nobody is taking risk anymore on new prop firms. And it's every type of account is there. Every type of gimmick is there. There's nobody that's come out with anything innovative. So basically everybody's sticking to the mains, you know, My Funded Futures, Apex, Tradeify, Top Step, you know, Funded Next is the one risk I'm taking with a newer company in futures, but they've been around forever in Forex. So like, essentially everyone's always like, have you tried this? Have you tried that? I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not going to move outside of my circle. I'm locked in because I'm afraid of being part of a prop firm bubble pop. I know the companies I'm with now will survive a bubble pop. They're all prepping for the future. So I'm going to be very careful going outside of my circle of the ones I talk about. But I'm sure there's a lot of other good ones out there. But I've just now closed the doors, and I closed the doors and I kicked top one out. So I'm going to be deleting firms rather than adding new ones. So we have 7 that we talk about now. We have actually 6, but I recently added one more to the roster, but because they deserve the spot. So we work with Funded Next, Take Profit, Tradeify, My Funded Futures, Elite Share Funding, Apex, and Futures Desk. And I have a special presentation of ETF on Friday. ETF, by the way, guys, the things that they're doing there, I know a lot of you may not have given them a chance, you know, in the past, but they have redesigned everything. They're doing a lot of cool stuff. They now have the best-in-class static account, I think, of the bigs that we work with. It might not be as good as the one Pips was talking about. 10K static is crazy. But as far as like, you know, the bigger firms are the ones that I know about, it's the best one I've seen. So that's good. But they're also doing this other rehabilitation program once you go live. Once you go live, they're going to let you trade live and also let you trade their direct-to-funded program. And I reevaluated their direct-to-funded program. We were mistaken when we evaluated it the first time on stream. We looked at it and we said, oh, it's Tradeify's better in every category. It's because their website was bad. They didn't communicate well to us on the surface. I met with them yesterday and talked to them about it. Their straight to funded is better than Tradeify's, and you can get bigger payouts when they have a sale. When they don't have a sale, Tradeify wins on price. Other than that, their program allows you $5,000 payouts on the payout window rather than 3. So just letting you guys know, ETF's direct-to-funded program is actually very competitive after rereading it. And I told them to redesign their website because they didn't communicate that very effectively. I'll review it on Friday whenever we go through it. But Tradeify's is still the one I've been using, right, for the longest time. They're practically equal as far as rules go, in my opinion, but they do have a bigger payouts that you can get, which means they're just competitive with it. I would call them both high, you know, like high class S tier sort of DTF straight to funded programs. They're both good. So that white line is the opening gap fill. Let me label the chart so you guys can see a little bit better. This is, I usually by proxy put everything on the same chart. This is actually the QQQ open price. And then the one above it is going to be the QQQ close from yesterday. Today's close. This makes it easy for you guys to see that. They'll do that really quick. All right, let's play some scalps. Let's see if we got anything good going on here. Resilience, still okay in S&P, still kind of met in QQQ. I would love to see this market flush out to here and grab a dip. That'd be awesome. Like I said, the universe loves you guys 2 times to give you that scalp 2 second times. Who took the scalp a second time? I didn't, but any of you guys take it? Right, pretty simple setup. This is all textbook Rocket Scooter. Fundinex without daily loss sum is much better in your opinion. You got a code for that? I'm still on the fence. Fundinex is great. I'm using them. I like it. Daily loss limit. The 100K gets rid of a big daily. It gives you a big daily loss limit. 2,500 will be very hard to hit with one mini. One mini gives you 3 trades on NASDAQ. 2,500, one mini gives you 5 trades on S&P. So if you get the 100K, you can roughly do 3 to 5 trades in NASDAQ S&P of 1 contract, or 2 to 3 with 2 contracts, which is kind of what I want to do. How did you get Pipson? You talking about which one? No payout caps or rules on Windows. Closest you can closest you can get into SMB. Just check it out. What is it called again? I'll check it out. Merit. The problem is the prop firms are cracking down right now. Things are becoming more strict for me. So when my current partners are being very strict on like issuing warnings, like be careful who you work with. Because if you work with somebody, basically the threat is out there. The major prop firms out there are telling you, if you work with another fast track and they rug pull people, we're going to cancel our relationship with you as well. So everybody out there is preparing for prop firm bubble right now. It's very cutthroat. So most affiliates are closing the doors to all new, check out this firm, check out that firm. It's kind of like where we are now. Warnings have been issued from the top. So current partners that we really trust and work with are like saying, if we catch you working with another fast track and it goes under, we're terminating you. So everyone's a little worried about the scams, and because prop firms are popping up every single day now. I'm getting like, dude, I get like an email every other day, like, hey, we're a new prop firm, you know, we'd like to work with you, kind of thing. And so you got to be careful with that, because you don't, the next one that goes under is just going to be something nobody wants to be part of. So I'm going to stick with the ones I trust that I know are good and not take any risks, because I don't want you guys, also, I don't want you guys using something that I think could possibly go under or be bad. Fundinex is the risk I'm taking, but they've been around in Forex for a while. And while I am on their payroll now, it's still, they have great competitive rules. And we know, being smart here, that they may change the rules at any moment in time. And the moment that the rules suck, I don't have to use them anymore. So that's kind of the way I feel. But I don't want to get involved with like something that could be like a fast track or something, you know? Thank you for the straight to fund on Tradify. It's your 3rd day of trading them. You're up 1.2K already. Wait, is that the one that you won from me? My dude, let's go. Awesome, dude. So the fun, I love we give away a funded account and you guys are making money. That makes me happy. But in all honesty, though, it's mostly just because I honestly am seeing that there's too many firms coming out, and every single one of them is like, you know, trying to you know, get everyone's business and stuff. I just don't want to be. I'm going to stick with the mainstays and also, you know, help the mainstays grow. I mean, that's important. For the health of the industry, we can't have 60 million prop firms out there. That can make everyone fail. So let's, you know, we're going to put our put our chips in the bag of supporting the bigs and basically leave it at that. So I'm no longer in the boat of trying out new firms. I know you guys want to or getting new codes. I'm not going to do it. There's a lot of good ones out there, unfortunately, that you guys have asked me to do, and I've decided to close the door. So somebody said like Blue Sky and Bullinox and all these other ones, while great, Perdia, while great, I'm not going to go get a code for it. I'm going to kind of stick to where I am. You just hopped on the Pat stream and the chat was Gen Z Deluxe. Well, yeah, there's a certain type of crowd that is attracted to like fast cars and stuff. Usually the loser crowd, you know, people that aren't wanting to, not saying they're losers, but like the losing trader. I mean, they're kind of like stuck in the mode of, ooh, I want to day trade because I want to be rich, just like this guy. And good luck to them. We need people like that so that we can keep winning. You know, we need people to beat in the market. So it's good that there's, you know, Gen Z, young adults taking a stab at this, because when they lose, I win. So that's good. But Pat's a good guy. I like Pat. But yeah, his stream attracts the Instagram trading crowd for sure. The TikTokers looking for the magic sauce, looking for the easy win. Yeah, they're attracted by a car commercial. They don't care if there's a technique. That the idea is like, oh, he rich, me rich too. Oh, okay. It's like, but I'm not gonna lie. I watch Pat stream all the time too. Whenever I'm not streaming, I like the entertainment value. It's really funny. But other than that, you know, I don't watch it to learn something about trading. I watch it to like chill out for the day and have a good time. So. Like my style, nice and boring. See, there's people that like boring like me. It's perfect. Pat's actually going to Iceland for a week tomorrow. He's gonna be gone tomorrow, I think. So she's not gonna be streaming for a whole week. After 5 years, there's no get rich, but the system is sauce. Let's go. Someone has to pay for those Apex resets. Oh my god, Ty, you're too funny. But I need to schedule my homage, my little visit to the BDH at some point. Make my way out to Florida. All right, still waiting and chilling. I'm gonna be looking for MHP is always a vibe. I love longing off the orange line. That's the orange line I took a piss on. That's piss color. You guys remember yesterday with the orange line? I took a long and I was like, I'll be back. I'm going to pee. No stop loss. You guys literally like, I think I mean myself there when people were like saying this guy's a gangster, longing with no stop and just leaving his computer. Like that's some sauce right there. It just so happens MHP is piss colored, so it kind of makes sense that it fits the joke very well. But I think firms have the best static accounts right now. Of the ones we work with, ETF is the gold standard static account. $2,000 drawdown for a static is blown away when especially they have a sale. Our code with them gets you 50% off. So compared to like Apex's static, you get $625 of drawdown for roughly the same price. ETFs, you get 3 times that. So they decided to create a static, and I told them, I go, guys, I said, I'll be honest with you. I want to do giveaways with y'all, but I don't want to do fast tracks and one step, because like fast track and one step are good. The one step is the equivalent Apex product with trailing drawdown. Fast track is that with a timer on it for slightly cheaper. I said, I don't want to give those away anymore. I'm going to tell you, I think that product is good, but people are loyal to Apex with that. I said, your static is gold. Your DTF is gold. And they go, okay, so we're going to give you, guess what? Tomorrow, I'm giving away 2 funded accounts with ETF. 2. That's the announcement. 2 funded accounts with ETF tomorrow. And 2 statics. I'm giving away 4. So I told them to give me just funded and just statics. I said, those are your gold mine products. Those are the ones I think people are going to love. So If you long and walk away like an explosion happening behind us in the movie, like the Joker meme. So basically I told them, I said, I don't want to give away fast tracks and one steps anymore. As good as they are, you guys want funded accounts, you guys want static accounts, you guys want end of the day accounts, I know. Though both of their programs are dynamite. I reviewed it on the website with them and I gave them notes on like the ways they can communicate how awesome their rules actually are. They just didn't communicate it well when we looked at it. And then I thought the rules were weak. And then we went over it yesterday and I was like, wait, you guys' rules are really good. Like I was like, well, yeah, there it is on the table. And I looked and I was like, oh, it is here, but it's kind of unclear what this actually means. So if you guys don't mind rewording it so that it makes a lot more sense. And they were like, oh yeah, that does make sense. We'll try to reword it. So when you read it side by side with Tradeify, their straight to funded program is competitive. And when they do have a sale, it's slightly better because of the price. But you get $5,000 payouts every rolling period rather than Tradeify's $3,000. So take that if you may, for whatever it means. I'll go over it Friday. I'm going to go over it. Now again, there's nothing, they're both like S tier. So the idea is whichever one has the better sale, that's what you're going to go for from your perspective. Does this ever make a trade? I trade every single day. I've made like 10 trades today. I'm almost at 80% win rate. I'm up like 130 something $1,000 of Tradeify. Right here, I'm waiting for this play right there. So we wait. You ever seen somebody trade with an edge? This is why you're here. I'm the only trader on YouTube that has a legitimate edge. Like I can literally long and walk away without a stop. Take a leak. I'm so confident in some of my plays. Apparently yesterday, that's what I did. Well, okay, so I started trading today right when the market opened, but my city has an internet outage today. So like a huge chunk of Houston is out of internet. So I'm kind of like chilling, trying to get everything situated. So I finally am tethering off of an iPad right now. So this is actually great that it's working. DD lines are an exploit of the margin requirements, what's called risk interval, something that we created here. It is a pivot that works 90% of the time. Basically what it is, it's when the CME group changes their margin requirements for a contract, it's telling you the expected range of volatility for the most part. And so we utilize that to create pivots. And I have a little handout like somewhere over in the Discord. I'll show you what the actual stats are on some of these things. It's incredible how strong this pivot is. It's ideally, like if it taps, it'll be the best long pivot to take today. Everything else is just chop fest with a little bit of downward pressure, but not bearish pressure today. I'd like to see the market flush, which would be amazing, and flush to a really solid. Let me load up the cheat sheet for you guys. If it's your first time in the stream, guys, I'm the most profitable trader on YouTube. I'm probably better than the next 3 YouTubers put together. But I'm different though. I'm kind of a different kind of trader than what you see. A lot of people are just gambling up and down, in and out. I'm very much a sniper. I have a setup that works, so I wait for it. I don't ever just, force a trade. Inside of here, these are the stats. 88% of days will actually stay inside of the band. 4% above, 8% below. Check QQQ, MHP. Oops. Oh, thank you guys. My folks here are so good at this. Almost there. Okay, let's watch it. When this ratio, which is the bull bear bias ratio in the stock market, so this is 83. If this ratio is greater than half, I long at the lower band every time. 88% of days will close between the lines, 4% above. So 92% of days will not break that lower band. It is that strong. So in essence, if the market does flush in a nice solid bull market, it's by far a gimme long trade. Like it's like the universe is like, here, Matt, take $10,000 today. Just watch. You guys sit here today. If this does this and lands right there, and we bounce all inside of here, I'm going to build a position here. Even just retracing half, I'll make 10K across the board. Maybe 20 if I hit it hard. Now we wait for it. Good setups here today as well is that first setup I took off the open. Monthly res was good here, but monthly res is worse here, guys. So monthly res is weaker, so therefore the trade is less validated. Okay, so we know that we use monthly res as a tiebreaker, right? And somebody was asking this morning, Jamie, this was for you when you were asking. So resilience being a tiebreaker, this is what happens. Earlier today, when we bounced up that same area, the orange line was roughly 20, give or take. Okay. This time, as we're approaching it, it's much less. You guys all see that? The orange line is definitely much less. Fewer and fewer stocks are supporting that area. So the support is weaker now when we get there. So that's basically what it means. So now that we're getting there, I'm less likely to want to take a long than the previous time. If the first long went to there, the second long is not going to go to there and go higher because the stocks are deteriorating. Do we all see that? Everybody here? Y'all see that? Does that make sense what I'm telling you guys? It can still bounce, but it's not going to go higher than the previous high. And that's what it's telling you. What prop is doing end of the day sale for 29 bucks? Ooh, that'd be kind of nice. Will I take MHP and add a DD band? So let's analyze that, right? Nasdaq is roughly 100 points away, so the answer to that is no. Let's see if S&P is close. Yeah, so the fall is too much. I mean, this is 50 points away on the S&P, or yeah, about 50 points away. If I take MHP and lose, I cut with the loss, and then I trade new from there. Mohammed said it's going to bounce. Yeah, like this range right here is just silly. If there's a flush, this is like a guaranteed bounce. I mean, it's almost never fails under these conditions. The trade war being, you know, we might get a flush because of monthly expiration, but that's really the only thing that can flush the market. Right? There's really no bad news catalyst. Nobody's wanting to sell. The flow is all bullish. I mean, everything is looking good. Nobody's changing stuff. Everybody's holding the fort. We might just get some play around because of monthly expiration, but other than that, I'm willing to buy dips. And today, if we get a lower dip, that'd be even better. The idea is we look at our confluence indicator here to give us an indication. NASDAQ, as you guys see, is deteriorated. It means more stocks have broken through monthly hedge pressure and are selling off. So when NASDAQ hit it the first time with positive, I longed right to there. When NASDAQ hits it a second time, the conditions are worse. I probably won't long for any higher than there. Even if I did take a long, it's a tiny scalp gamble. So the worse the condition gets, the less high it's going to go. And resilience is beautiful for that kind of analysis. So I'm going to scoot this over so we can watch it. Your class rocks, losing less for sure. How are you planning to 10x your performance with no copy trading? No stop loss, DCA. I use a stop loss, but I manually stop, right? Nice etch to survive. How to top Jade Cap? Well, no, but like people that do that in Apex, they're just gambling, dude. Like, I mean, you know, that's not something that the guys can consistently do. You know, like you're copy trading and hitting the market hard, and you happen to just get lucky when the market's crashing, and all of a sudden you're making like 100K, 200K days. If you happen to get them back to back, you're gonna build up a pretty big balance. But most traders don't do that. I'm not saying he's a bad trader, but that's not really achievable. That's like winning the lottery and just getting really lucky while copy trading and catching the right wave. And we all go on lucky streaks. It happens to me too. It's not something that like is sustainable, and to like try to top that or try to achieve that is like not realistic, right? He's definitely a good trader, but it's not like he's popping out $2 million payouts every month. You know, that's like the only time he'll ever do that. And that's the only time anyone would ever do that. And if I happen to do that, it'd be the only time I'd ever do that, because copy trading is putting all your eggs in one basket. And certainly you can daisy chain a bunch of wins in a row and just build out a big fat balance, but you can't sustain a trading style putting all your eggs in one basket, right? So while he's a really good trader, I'm not trying to achieve, you know, $2 million Apex payouts. by risking, you know, like joining that, you know, 20 account, copy trade, gamble. It only looks good on social media when you can tell people you did it, and then that's okay. But the only reason I would do that would be to brag that I did that. But realistically, I wouldn't try to achieve similar results. Very few people could actually do that. And it does, even when you're talented like him, it requires a whole lot of luck to get the market you happen to just be on the right side of the market multiple days in a row, taking that much risk. Luck has to also be on your side. So you have to be skillful and lucky. It's kind of like getting to play in the majors in baseball. Like my brother, right? He was in the minor leagues. He's skillful. He just wasn't lucky. You know, you have the right timing, the right play, the right movement to get called up. No matter how good you are, you still don't achieve the final thing that you want because you kind of have to have luck on your favor as well. Yeah, stocks need to deteriorate, and stocks aren't deteriorating. That's the thing. So what we look for in markets like this is that the market, you know, you need an event to push the market higher. Stocks are selling just a little bit, but the stock market is still nice and healthy. When all three of these indicators for S&P are bullish, stock market is okay, healthy. So there is no deterioration. NASDAQ is in a boat where some of the stocks have gapped down and haven't recovered, but the S&P is fine. What that means is people are rotating out of tech and rotating into other things, which means the market's going to relatively stay flat and not going to flush and sell off. But what we wait for is to see if it does flush, or do I get in on the long? And I'm looking for strong pivots to trade off of. This orange line, I always trade off of this one. My brother played with the Giants organization, and he was working through the ranks, and then he got a call that he was going to go to AAA and move up when he was in AA, and then the Giants drafted Randy Johnson, and then that closed the door, and everybody got shuffled back down. He got stuck in AA. Then he just filed for like his free agency or whatever after that year because there was kind of a dead end. His one spot he was gunning for was to be a relief pitcher with the you know, to sit on the bench on the 25-man roster. He was going to get a spot, and they were like, "We'll put you in AAA. We'll play you, and then we'll call you up." You know, and then boom. But to get cock blocked by Randy Johnson is, I guess, you know, that's a great. I mean, you know, you get edged out by one of the best. Like, that kind of says a lot about you, right? That's kind of sad. But when my brother was in the minor leagues, he played. He still holds the Giants record for the lowest ERA in a single season in the entire organization. He had a .9 as a starting pitcher, by the way, a .9 for his first season in the pros. So, and that was in his single A. But I mean, that's ridiculous. If you're baseball fans, you'd be like, .9 is ridiculous, right? Yeah, he was a gimmick pitcher, and people couldn't hit him. We got to AA, they figured out how to hit him, but the single A kids couldn't figure it out. Randy's a jerk anyways. Yeah, he's kind of a dick, but that is my brother's legacy. He was a very good pitcher. They went to the Little League World Series. You know, they did all that stuff when we were kids. And he has his own baseball cards and stuff. So I was kind of proud of him. You were at the Marlins, Cam? Oh, sweet. How far did you go with the Marlins? I'll tell you, dude, my bro would have been like a good trader. He's a math dude like me. You just never would have thought it because he didn't really, you know, he was kind of like a cowboy and a jock. So he was just kind of like, you know, he was a quiet nerd on the side. He had, you know, too prideful to let his friends know he was kind of a geek. So he was just like a man's man. He could got talks like this. Where's cowboy hat? My little brother. But deep down, he's a math nerd just like his older brother. He would have been a good trader. Randy Johnson wasn't the best ever. Dude, like a giraffe. The faces. He was kind of weird looking, wasn't he? Just like tall, lanky thing with like giant arms. Yeah. But that was the story that, you know, he did get we were so excited when he got the call. And he was like, yeah, they're going to move me to AAA. And we're like, oh, you're so close. And then we got the other call and he's like, actually, bad news. What's he doing now? He works, dude, he makes bank. He works in a oil and gas midstream. I forgot what he does. But he lives up in Kansas now, and he works in midstream and oil and gas. He probably, you know, clearing 200 G's a year, probably just working for doing something with the oil fields. I don't know exactly what he does, but he does project work. And he's banking pretty good. They got a huge house out there. Ton of land. Cam, you went AA with the Marlins? Oh, dope, dude. What position did you play? I played baseball too when I was a kid. I was a pitcher. When I got high school though, I was quarterback when I played football. I was a pitcher when I played baseball, but I kind of didn't take up athletics. Once I got to high school, I started kind of pivoting away from all the athletics I was doing, and I stuck with academics instead. But when I was younger, in my early years in Texas, you know how it is with football. They groom you ever since you're like 5 years old. They groom you to be the position you'll be in high school. It's such a big deal. So I was being like trained and groomed as a quarterback ever since I was 5 years old. And I played football until my teens as quarterback. And then I was actually pretty good. I always wondered if I would have gone pro. You know, it doesn't look it now, but I was actually pretty decent when I was a kid. Relative to kids, right? The other kids there. But my schedule got too crazy and I started like doing, you know, school is my main thing. So I kind of stopped doing athletics. My brother was the same kind of kid as me. He was very smart. He was a little prodigy as well. And he took the athletics route. So we both took each other's path. We could have easily crossed paths and gone the other way. I wasn't as good at baseball as my brother. Like he was very talented at baseball. I'm at a trade right now, Jake Deep. You'll see at the top right of my screen. If I'm ever in a trade, you'll see it turn on. I made about, I don't know, $6,000 today. So I'm waiting for my next setup. So these are the profits I made today. And I'm waiting. So all I did was take long scalps inside of here. I want to get a better setup today. And I'm waiting for something better to show up. This is not a chase to the long side. Market conditions are actually deteriorating just a little bit, and S&P resilience is pushing down a little. So be careful today. Even if it's at or near zero, we still don't bet the market's going to sell off. But if the stocks do deteriorate and this goes negative, this could actually pull back pretty hard. So football is cooler. Yeah, I think a lot of people think that. I still like baseball a whole lot, though. I actually do. Oh, shit. I missed the CQG. Oh, God. I got invited to a freaking CQG, the company. They invited me to go to the Astros game, to sit in their seats and stuff. Ah, fuck my life today. Crazy. I was supposed to go to the Astros yesterday. Have I ever heard him mention his... Dude, he used to listen to... I mean, he listens to a lot of music, but I got him listening to, dude, country music, rap music, drives a truck. He secretly liked Metallica, though, when we were younger. You won the Little League World Series, Ty? Wait, you did? When did you play Little League? I was going to play college. No shit. Dude, that's awesome. Which year? My stream is moving out. The internet in Houston is down because like it's a huge fiber problem. So let me see if it's back up. Let me check the... So guys, I have some announcements for some giveaways. Tomorrow we'll be giving away 2 funded accounts with ETF and their new funded program. And then we're going to give away... Oh, you should be online by 2 p.m. now. What the heck? Boo. So basically, if you were to divide Houston into quadrants, the entire northwest quadrant is all without internet. So I don't know if like they're doing construction and somebody chopped up like a major cable or there's a major malfunction, but this is like a huge outage in the city. People, I've seen places where people like hundreds of thousands plus people without internet sort of thing. You went to Williamsport? Nice. Baseball fans are smarter than football fans. Probably so. Nolan Ryan's sister was your algebra teacher in high school. Oh man, that's awesome. Nolan Ryan was a wild card. Like he was an okay pitcher, but he threw like 7 no-hitters, right? People give him a lot more credit than they do. He didn't really have like otherwise like the greatest stats if I remember. But he did have some amazing moments. The Stros never went to like World Series or anything, I don't think, whenever he was pitching for us though. News alerts on TradingView. No news today. There's really nothing going on today. I'm still not betting that the market's going to sell off. I'm just waiting in case it does to get a better entry. The market's just trickling higher and trickling higher. And I already made my trades for today. I got the first big trade right out the door, which was the best one. And we've still been playing. You could have like played this all day long. Scalping through here. I usually don't like to take the trade multiple times if the condition is deteriorating. So it doesn't mean the market's going to sell off. It just means the odds are less likely. And therefore, I want to take the high odds on this one. We're just going to wait to see what happens next. Nasdaq sitting flat. Nothing. I'm not thinking the market's going to crash or sell off today, guys, though. That's one thing I don't think. But even if it does, I'm waiting because I got a nice little dip to buy way down in there. Giveaway. Yeah, we'll do giveaway in like 10 minutes, you guys. So hang tight. TBT today. Let me get my... Hold on. Don't type anything yet, though. Hold on. I'm glad some of you guys decided to come back later on in the stream. I mean, our numbers are so low today. So sad. Internet was out, man. I was like struggling to get everything going this morning. We'll be back in full force tomorrow, though. Weeble chats are getting a ton of rocket scooter exposure. Wait, where's Weeble chats? Where's that at, dude? I'm starting to hear like we're starting to get the buzz of like mini virality. I'm hearing that finally, like these last 3 or 4 months, people are starting to talk about us in a lot of places. I think we're just kind of like this quiet thing on the side for a while. And now I'm starting to hear that, oh, dude, I heard about you here. I heard about you here. And I was like, I didn't even know we were there. So it feels really nice to see and hear that people are checking us out from afar. Okay. Let's just chill. Let me delete my notes on the screen here. Okay. Let's do TPT giveaway. Man, I love this iPad that I'm working off of right now. Internet is doing all the heavy lifting. Get the headband ready. Dude, I'm all off my game today, man. I'm not even thinking about my headband. I'm in such a somber mood today. Let's type in that TPT though. Let's go. No breakfast, no internet. Scrambling. What a day. I made money today. That's all that matters, baby. That's all that matters. Put some bank up on the screen. That matters. You know, can't complain about that, but what are we giving away today, chat? Let me go check my repository, my little wallet of accounts here. What do we have to give today? I feel like today's a pool day. You know what I'm saying? But you guys, we will do boot camp today because I figured out I can tether off of this iPad. We have a business class internet that is surprisingly up, which is good. It's also AT&T. So whatever was destroyed wasn't their business network. Okay. Let me load up. What do we got for TVT, ladies and gentlemen? Tomorrow we'll be giving away 2 of ETF's gold mine static accounts with $2,000 drawdown. That's crazy. They basically created the gold standard of statics now amongst the bigs. Statics are great because the drawdown doesn't move. It stays flat. So you build a buffer right out the door. You don't have to get to a certain profit target to build a buffer. So statics are like the best accounts out there, period. But they usually don't give you big buffers, and they're usually the hardest to beat. With the $2,000 drawdown, that static became simple. And also, they're going to give away probably 2 funded accounts every giveaway we do with those guys. So their funded program is competitive to Tradeify with $5,000 payouts, which I thought was pretty cool. So anyways, what are we giving away today? What do I got? That one giveaway here. Let's give away 2 50K test accounts with Tradeify or TPT today. Loving some TPT though. Actually, wait. Let's do 3. I love y'all that much for sticking around. I'm going to reward you guys with 3. How about that? Does that sound good? Does 3 sound good? Does that sound all right? Giveaways every day. Giveaways every day. Okay. We'll let you guys spool up the resilience just took a nod up. So we had some stocks moving through half gap, picking up a little bit of steam there. I found a little breakout play likely to happen to the long. So like I said, not shorting this, not at all fading this. There's no flush, there's no fade. I'm just waiting for better long pivots. Made that scalp today, made the money today. Now I'm just waiting to get going, right? I'm trying to go straight to live with Tradeify, so hopefully I can keep making money with these guys and go to live. It'd be lovely. I do love making money. It is one of my favorite things in the world. Ooh. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Let's chill on this. Hit that TPT in chat. Chat. Type it. Type it. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that like button, though. Don't forget to do that. Most important part, sub to the channel. We're every single day, 8:30 a.m., 1 hour pre-market. We stream all the way through lunch. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing something special for you guys. I'm going to be streaming all day. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to stream all day tomorrow for the entire week. I'm going to do a whole week of streaming all day. So I want you guys to come support the channel. Morning and afternoon, we'll stream all the way up until the boot camp. Just for funsies. Test a different time slot. And I also have another big announcement, but I don't think I can make it yet until I get the official word. But something big, something really big for me, which is really nice. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. I'm like so excited to share it. I'm talking like something super big and super cool. they were excited to have an announcement with that too. Press it through half gap here on QQQ. Let's see it go. I'm not in any trade there right now, but this nice little long setup is definitely doing well. Resilience just took another leg down. Don't forget to hit that TBT, guys. All day stream. Yeah, I'll stream all day tomorrow, and I'll stream all day. Matt gonna be a daddy. No, not that. Matt, well, I mean, Matt is a daddy. You know what I'm saying? Mac daddy. Pimp daddy. Money making daddy. Day trading daddy, but not any new kids lately, unless iDoc has something to tell me. You have something to tell me, iDoc? Type in that TPT, baby. She just like, no. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in and staying here. Chilling live. Let me see if I can take like a better picture of all my gains today. I really need to get, I guess NinjaTrader is the way that you can put all your accounts on one platform instead of a bunch of Tradeifys open. Right? Is that how that works? Like, I hate NinjaTrader though. NinjaTrader is the worst. You may know a platform where I can log into all my accounts in one place besides NinjaTrader? Something that's not hot seeming garbage. So these are my trades for today. That's what I've done. These are my funded next. Tradeify. Funded next. All right, guys, you know the rules. Type in TBT in chat. Hit that like hit that like button. Sub the channel. We're live every single day and do giveaways every single day. We give away 100 counts a month on this stream. As of this month, we'll be about at 100 giveaway this month. Quant Tower, maybe. I just need a DOM. I just need a place where I can have all my stuff to switch between them, but it's horrible. Yeah, I know. It's like absolutely horrible, right? I wish the Tradeify would have that same like. But this has been a killer day for me today, guys. Doing well. Like I always share my trades with you guys, so doing well today. Not trying to fade or short this, but just waiting for good opportunities. This wasn't the best opportunity, but I took that trade already. Looking like the universe is giving us a second one. Resilience is still positive. S&P filling the gap is likely the case. And doing good there. All right, guys. Quant Tower is good, Ty? All right, I'll check it out. I need to consolidate everything in like one place. What's that chat? Dust, I hear something blowing in the wind. Is it a sound? Nay. Is it a songbird? Nay. What beeth? Is it the wind howling in the wilderness? Nay. You know what it is? The hedge pressure resilience. Beeth. Hedge pressure resilience theth. Everything rocket scooter. All you need and all you what? The hedge pressure resilience. Doth my ears deceive me? Wait, what's the headband? There we go. Woo. All right, winner one, TBT 50K giveaway. Three accounts today. Rocket scooter. Rocket scooter. Man, that's the longest spinning wheel I've seen in a while. How many of you guys entered? Mo, today's winner. Give a minute to type something, Mo. 50K test account with straight profit trader. Seeing your account get passed is painful. I know, right? There's only one regret I have in life is that this song is not 5 minutes longer. Because this is my favorite song in the history of music. I don't think a better song has ever been written. Step aside. Queen, Beatles, Rolling Stones. You could never write a hit like this. Sean Michael Affable. Congrats. Need super chat and gift on the stream? We have that. You can do super chat. All right, good job, Sean. All right, one more spin. I'm gonna get myself a money gun, dude. I need to actually shoot money out of a money printer. It'll happen. I need props for the song. G-Mac, good job. Congrats. Okay. You guys don't have take profit 50K accounts. Booyah. All right. Thank you. Good night. G-Mac, type something in chat, baby. Let's go. Anything will do. Anything will do. Anything. Thank you. All right, good job. All right. God, I can't see with these things on. One of these days, I might actually give away the biggest prize of all, which would be by far the best thing I own on planet Earth, which is Bitcoin 2022. Ready for this? FTX sunglasses, baby. This is a collector's item. I got FTX on my eyes right here. These things got to be worth a couple bucks on eBay. Kidding me? You know, when I went to Bitcoin conference in 2022 with Wolf and Stock Market News and all these guys, we got a condo there for a month, chilled there. I had to come back early to get back to life and work, but after the Bitcoin conference, I was invited, and so were they, to spend 2 weeks in the Bahamas at the FTX compound with all those criminals, as you know, the story of that. So, you know, I could have been chilling out with those fucking nerds at FTX before they got arrested, living the billionaire lifestyle for a hot minute. That would have been fun. But I decided to come back from Florida. So after the Bitcoin conference, isn't that crazy, right? Like super crazy. Yeah. So collector's items. The famous glasses, just FTX US. They were from Bitcoin 2022. And I wore these glasses like all day because I didn't have sunglasses there and they were great. Maybe $5 whole. You think he gets royalties off of those? Because I'm sure Sam Bankman-Fried has a lot of debt to pay off from all the. I mean, isn't he in prison for like 5 million years? Let's see what his prison sentence is. I don't even know the whole story. Wait, sentenced to 25 years in prison. Ouch. Forfeit $11 billion. Dang. It's crazy. Those nerds, dude. Fucking. Literally. Me calling somebody a nerd is a big deal. It's very hard for me to find somebody nerdier than me. Those guys are nerds. And funneling money, customer money to like, I don't know what it is they did, but their scheme was very sophisticated and they were moving money around and investing it to back other things, to save other things. It's just, you know, rip. But we were certainly invited to go out there and hang out in the Bahamas for a couple weeks. And a lot of my friends went out there and hung out with them. Just, you know, influencer friends and stuff, but I didn't go. I basically went to Miami for like 3 weeks. I went to after the Bitcoin conference, I left the condo and I went and got, I stayed at the condo for a little bit. Then I went and stayed at the Fontainebleau for a week. Then I stayed at the one hotel for a week. Then I went to Brickell and stayed there for a week and just partied for like 3 solid weeks. It was hella fun. I know a lot of people out there, so there's a lot going on. Always a good time. But I did not go to the Bahamas. Go get a pardon like every other crypto bro? Maybe. With federal time, it's more like 7. Yeah, probably. I'm the coolest nerd. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I want to say I was probably the hottest guy in the math club, though. Of the 7 people there, probably is the best looking dude. I'm not gonna lie. There's some good looking dudes in that math club. I probably was the best looking. I got all the... I didn't get all the chicks. But I did date a girl in the drill team in high school, though, which was unheard of. Not being a super jock kind of guy. The head girl in the drill team was dating the president of the math club. We'll talk about some Riz right there, baby. But actually, I was not super. I wasn't like super not known dork. I was actually like in my school. I was captain of all the clubs. I was like on the debate team. I was the head actor, so I was in all the plays and stuff. So basically, everyone kind of knew who I was. So I wasn't just like a silent nerd. I was a nerd with the spotlight. So that's how I think I was able to get myself a hot drill team girlfriend. But now I got a hot doctor girlfriend, so that's even better. The best. I'll tell you, don't listen to what anybody else says out there. Girls may not like nerds when they're younger, but boy, they like them when they're older. That's usually who brings home the bank. Come back to Miami. Oh yeah, Ty, that's right. I forgot you're in Miami. No, wait, I thought you were in Jersey though, but you live in Florida now, don't you? One of the two. I forgot which one you're in right now. You're like New York, New Jersey right now, or that you live in Florida. You started out there. I'm trying to remember what you said. If you're in Miami now, let's hang out. I probably had to go out there at some point. No, not shorting. Not shorting. Market's nice and stable here to fill the gap now. I wish I would have been in a trade, but there was no evidence to jump in on. I already took my scalps this morning, and I'm just chilling to wait for something better. Probably not going to be anything better today. But yeah, market nice and clean, nice and steady. No shorting, not doing anything from here. Nope. You remind me now? Oh, cool. Probably talked about the Pythagorean theorem. Yeah, well, I think the other reason why I had the drill team captain girl was also a super nerd. So she was like top 5 of our class. So I think that we were just both nerds for sure. iDoc is the biggest nerd of all, dude. My first conversation with her was talking about who had more hearts in Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. She was having trouble being Ganon, and I was like, well, how many heart containers do you have? This was one of our first conversations after we met. I was in a club and we were all fucked up. We were smoking hookah, and we just got out of the like a whole night of partying, and it's like midnight. I was actually wearing a tuxedo that night. I'm off to the side, or I mean, a suit that night. I was like off to the side and asking like, I was like, so how many, wait, you're having trouble like beating Ganon? Like how many heart containers do you have? She's like, well, I have 6. I'm like, 6? I got 40. You need more health. This is my conversation with Thy Dog. That's how I knew she was a keeper. Nothing bonding over Trig. Yeah, there you go. And she was like, I need help being Ganon. I'm like, you need to grind out some heart containers, girl. Like that's there's. You ever played Zelda before? You need health. He hits hard. And she's like, will you do it for me? I was like, no, I already grinded out 40 in mine. I'm too lazy. Your fiance is a nerd. The woman's insanely good at Sudoku. Oh, that's funny, dude. I know, man. Like, super nerdy chicks love trader guys because that's like, we talk about math and numbers all day long. All right, so my style today was just been longing, you know, throughout the day is basically what I'm looking for. But the gap fill was kind of an inevitable move with everything being positive for a while. Nasdaq is still negative, not shorting this yet, but that was a pretty solid move to keep going. A little bit higher. I don't think the market's going to sell off. I think that we're going straight to all-time highs. There might be some downside along the way, but it's really hard to think that there would be from here. Even after a move like this. But Nasdaq is not doing as great, but it's still getting better. The S&P resilience never went below 0. So, you know, while I was kind of hoping I could get a better dip to buy, it still rescued itself and the stocks did good. So we never saw full deterioration of the stock market. All 3 of our indicators have been bullish. This is bullish. MHP, bullish, bullish, bullish. Everything across the board. So I'm kind of limited on how much I can make because, you know, consistency rules. I've already made pretty much decent amount of trades. Some of my accounts I can still do a little bit of work on. Can get something there. Do we sell off now? Probably not. No. No, there's no reason for the market to sell off. That's the thing, is that while it could, with the trade war being resolved to a particular, you know, favorable degree of not being as bad as it was, right? We're in a better spot. That's the only bad economic data we've got. Other than the GDP reflecting that, when the trade war tariffs are not as bad as they're going to be and they're going to work out trade deals. I mean, Europe went right back to all-time highs after their dip. The minute Trump paused the tariffs for 90 days and started working out trade deals with them, the market went right back to all-time highs. And that's where we're going to be too, because apart from tariffs, I mean, we're in the low 2s on the CPI. I mean, that is more likely to cut rates and things are getting better. Economic data is good. Jobs data is good. Layoffs aren't happening like en masse. Your jobs data comes out every Thursday, looking nice and solid. Continuing jobless claims aren't getting any worse, so people are not having a hard time getting their jobs back. There's, you know, growth, and companies have enough money to survive the tariffs without massive inflation happening. Michigan numbers showed about a 5 to 6% inflation target over the first year due to the tariffs. I'm sure the next reading would come out a lot lower. But other than that, that is the only problem in the economy right now. Nobody is going to bet against this market. Nobody should bet against this market. As a matter of fact, every time the market moves up, it should be where I get in on the long. And I've been that mentality since April the 10th. So all that money from the first trade of the day. I did some overnight trades in the first trade of the day. Tradeify at the bottom was all today. The fund index at the top, half of it was today, half of it was last night. So, these guys have a 40% consistency on a $2,500 profit target. So I can't go over 1,000. This one went over, so I need to trade an extra day. This one I tried to fail on purpose and I accidentally made money, which kind of sucks. I was actually trying to lose that account on purpose so that I can blow up 2 of my 50Ks to get 100K. They don't let you just delete your account and start over. You have to actually bust them. So I was actually trying to fail this account. Stupid account, made money. That kind of sucks. Here's the yellow line on NASDAQ right now. Usually that can be a resistance point. Let's see. I want to trade this account here. This one. Let me do this one. Now the question is, usually at the yellow line is kind of like where we perceive an end of the day to be. I don't fade off of this, but the market just waltzed right up to one of the resistance targets we usually do see, and we rejected it once yesterday. Looks like we're trying to reject it again today. I don't short off of it, but that's the end of the bull run. If you got lucky with a nice bull trade off of that, I would take that profit and call it. Liquidity sweep and pullback. The stocks are filling their gaps. So this isn't just a futures thing. You see this white line right here going higher. The majority of stocks are actually trading up to fill their gaps. So I'd be very cautious trying to fade this. But let me show you what some of the stocks are doing. The stocks are picking up momentum right here. Now again, Apple's hitting resistance. Monthly hedge pressure. Amazon didn't move. Nvidia, same boat, right? Amazon. Oops. What did I just do? Oops. Microsoft. Like, the stocks are starting to pick up some run. And again, this is just short covering into monthly expiration. There are people out there that are being forced to chase long because they were betting against a trade war, and nobody would have thought Trump would have worked something out so quickly. And the fact that he did is really big news. And not a lot of people were positioned for that. And there's a lot of people getting squeezed out of their shorts. We've been seeing a lot of that lately. Today, advantageous long traders today. If you get to here, there's long setup from here back to there. If res is greater than 0. So nice little pullback on that. So pull back from here to here. Well, let me get a little snack here. Guys, I have to eat chip crumbs. Look, I've got hummus. Got tiny little chip pieces. That's all that's left is crumbs. That's my breakfast for today. Our little chip shards. Adak and I got to go do some shopping today because we're throwing this huge Memorial Day party. There's going to be like 50 people here. We got a huge pool, huge house. It's going to be nuts. They could decorate the whole thing. I'll be barbecuing. I'm going to be having music. We're going to be having games for the kids. I mean, everything. So, at the new house, I'm trying to make this like a yearly bash, a yearly thing I'm going to do. I love hosting like huge barbecues. So. Chip cereal. That would be a good... I wish I had a spoon. Nothing beats like your $1.50 party size bag of HEB tortilla chips, though. You guys might not have HEB where you live. It's a Texas thing, but HEB's the best, man. That's our like mega grocery store here. Ane, can you read when you join the stream? There's an announcement in the chat that tells you what's happening. My city is having an internet outage today, which kind of sucks. And I apologize for the stream quality being crappy, but like a quarter of the city is without internet. I'm having to tether to an iPad. Start the party with the monkey paw. Oh, hell yeah. Dude, I'm going to play the good songs to these people. They don't even know what's coming. That yellow line is usually a really solid resistance. So if anybody is wanting to be short, which I'm not giving stock or trading advice, if anybody is wanting to be short, that is the place to short from, and that is the only place to short from if one were a bear. Now, I'm not a bear, but rejecting this yellow line is definitely a short setup. We don't teach it in Rocket Scooter because the probability is more like a coin flip. But if it does sell off, it sells off from there. And we don't have any gauge on the effectiveness of it, so it is a gamble. But one could effectively bet on the resistance there. Just for fun, I'll show you what it looks like. I don't normally short from here. Don't copy what I'm doing, guys. This is a stupid idea. But you would short there. 40-point stop. If there's any kind of place. Terrible idea of what I'm doing. We don't short up yellow line because it's a coin flip, but it's a good short if you didn't want to short. You guys seem to be bored watching me eat chips, so let me do something. I don't believe the market's selling off at all. So, probably a terrible idea to do that. There's no evidence to do that. But I'll show you how the setup works. It's an R&R commit to trade. 50 points a drop. Trading between pivots. Scalp from pivot to pivot. Free money. Just like that. It's really a coin flip though. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but just a scalp between two bull pivot, a bull pivot and a bear pivot. Right? One could advantageously hold the short from here to here, but I just wanted to show you the potential of what it can do. This is resistance if there is anything. Pull back down to there. So I close that out to like 200 bucks. We don't bet on the market fading. Instead, we wait for better setups. You made 300 bucks. That's 300 bucks you didn't have. Yeah, if one were to short, this yellow line is the place to short from, but there is no evidence that the market does sell off. There's like no volatility either, so you know the chance is very low that the market does pick up any selling off steam with the stocks doing so well. You're gonna have to need to see the stocks start shitting the bed, and the stocks are doing pretty okay. Let's pop Nvidia on a chart and just watch that, because usually, especially with today, the tech stocks were being rotated out of into other stocks. Basically, people are leaving tech and jumping into like financials and some energy and some stuff. Utilities are doing okay. Now the tech is starting to catch up. Now everything's starting to pick up some steam and rally from here. So you're gonna have to watch. Nvidia has positive gamma hedging. Like this is positive gamma hedging pressure this way. There's always a resistance that pushes the market this way. As you see, liquidity pocket flow is this way. So yeah, so the market is, sustainably bullish. Maybe not bullish from here, but if it dips really hard, this is also a long trade to take. If resiliences are positive, one could long right at the middle. Yeah, 100% gamble. Like when I told you that short setup there, complete gamble, right? Just trading the pivots, scalping between the two. Ideally, S&P just smashed above monthly hedge pressure. This is the trade on the S&P. We're now above MHP, and then a test to here is a second long entry if you're that kind of trader for a long. Just when I say this market is not going to sell off, people that are waiting, again, it could sell today. It could sell one day or a day in the middle of the rally, but we're probably going straight to all-time highs. Not from here though. Like we have monthly expiration. The market's just responding to that, like tomorrow. But in the next month, you might see one red day sandwiched between 5 green days. It's gonna be like that. VIX is in absolute decay. When the VIX is in decay like the way that it is, it means there's nobody that disagrees with the market going up. There's nobody cashing out. Unless Trump throws another curveball or the trade talks fall apart, on Wall Street market might sell for a day. But they're still betting on the hope that they work it out, which is exactly what we did in 2018. The last time there's a trade war with China, it's the same exact measure. Send me that playbook. Nothing's different. Everything's exactly the same. People are, it doesn't matter if it's worked out or not. People are going to bet that it will be, because it will be at some point. So we might get a big sell-off day on the day that there's rumors that trade talks are falling apart, or rumors that China's going to pull out, and then we might crash for a day. Next day, we'll be rallying back again. We traded the same thing 8 years ago. Buys at paper gains is NFP level. Is that a bull level or bear level, Chiquette? You ask if I can make a trade copier for my trades. Can you imagine? Explain when that's allowed and when it's illegal. So me having people copy my trades, I'll be 100%. I don't know the full legality of that. I don't have a license. So without a license, in the futures world, I'm limited to how many people I can give trade advice to, and copying trades would fall into that category of trade advice. I'm assuming it followed the same regulation where I can't give more than 15 people trade advice without having a license. More than 15, you have to have a license or you can get in trouble and get fined and banned and stuff. So I would have to have a seriously license, of course, to have people copy my trades. And then I don't know the legality with my exchange agreements for the futures data that I have, or my CQG API, and all the exchanges agreements I have with like the CME group and all that, what their regulations or rules are with their data. So it's like a lot of times they supply you data. They're like, yeah, you can't do this with our data. I remember very strictly when I signed my CME exchange agreements, CME group, these guys were like, this rocket shooter company, huh? All right. So they're it's manual trading. Like the platform is manual trading. And I'm like, yes. And then the questionnaire that I had to fill out was like, are you sure? Well, yeah. I mean, like, are you really sure? I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, are you physically moving the mouse on the screen and clicking the button? I'm like, yes, it's manual trading. Okay. It made me think that there's, you know, either A, they forbid you to do it, or B, they forbid you at our current price tier. I'm sure copy trading is allowed, but you might probably have to opt into a higher price point with your exchanges. But in the current, like, we're just going to supply data for your candles sort of thing, there was an absolutely no automation of any of this whatsoever, or else kind of mentality that I was feeling the heat of. So I'm assuming that you probably have to pay a substantial fine if you're trying to use their data for some kind of automated trading or automated market making or something. You probably enter into the next price tier, and I'm sure it probably costs Wall Street prices instead of retail prices. But I can always look it up if I was to make an auto trading bot. And I'm assuming that would be the two things. I need to get all clearances from my data folks. It's not illegal by any means, but it is illegal if I don't have a license, I'm sure. I'd have to check with legal on that, but I'm sure it falls under the trade advice category if I'm allowing you guys to follow my trades and copy them. So those are probably the two things I'd have to do. And I'm not sure how much it would cost me either. But I'm making a live trading bot for myself, though. And you guys can easily commission somebody to make a live trading bot for you. You can have it interact with your browser. You can have it rip the data from the browser. And then you can have it execute in your own platform based on our rules. And I can't stop you from doing that. Anybody here, Alex asking, who here has gone through the boot camp? Do you mind dropping a quick little blurb about your experience in the boot camp? I know hundreds of you have, thousands of you have actually. I traded ES and I traded Nasdaq futures, both of them. If you guys don't mind, who has taken the boot camp? What is your one sentence review of boot camp? People are asking about it in chat. You guys can throw something in there about your experience and who's going through it now, even the first timers. I'd like to see a little support here. Now, S&P also has its own illiquidity pivot at 59.25, which is resistance pivot from here. It's it's $20 for 20 days. That's the price. It's $1 a day, US dollars, which is insanely affordable. And we like for it to be affordable for a reason. Here's a link for it. And it's at 4 o'clock right when the market closes. We'll be live. Here's a link for it. You guys can read all the reviews if you want. Me neither. Oh, Mike. Oh my God, y'all are so funny. Yeah, our goal with the boot camp is to make a splash and never raise the price. It's always gonna be $20. Thank you guys. That's really nice of y'all. Well, that's what everybody is saying, so I relate that. And $20, yeah. And people is like, what's the catch? And like literally it's my $20 is like my fuck you to the Furus out there. I think it's ridiculous that people like literally kind of like coax you into a $1,000, you know, fly out to my state, sit in an audience with other sweaty hopefuls, and we'll give you like a 2-hour motivational talk that's trading themed. Yeah, so the broker statements, they'll probably remove you from the audience, right? So you're disrupting the class. Well, how much did you make last year? Well, that's not important. Get him out of here. You know, and I was like, let me make the best thing ever and just like give it away. And there's the pivot on S&P. Right at yellow line, that's a great pivot right there. Again, same as NASDAQ, there is pivoting action there. I wouldn't be shorting this. Nice and clean. I need a good long entry. Obviously, the best long entry that we could have would be a nice little dip down into here. I would like to see that. This market is just screaming with short squeeze momentum. You know it's a short squeeze also when the market speeds up as it's moving. Normally a long style, you know, news event type thing as the impact of the news start off at the start of the day and then it becomes less impactful as the day rolls by, right? News moves like that. But when the market is like slowly picking up momentum and then it moves and moves and moves and moves faster, it's because people are bumping into each other and forcing other people into a trade and it's speeding up as it's going. Think of a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger as it collects snow. It's the same thing. You know, shorts bump more people that bump more people that bump more people and it starts to speed up. This is absolutely pre-expiration short squeeze. And that is the mechanism because most people are trying to short this market, being the trade war is going to kick us into a recession. So many talking head idiots on Wall Street. This is the next recession. I'm like, no, this is just the next step in the market. You paid attention 8 years ago. That's why there's so many new traders since COVID. Everybody out there wants to be a market commentator. I traded this last time. It's all smoke and mirrors and Trump's going to fold. There's no way he's going to let the stock market crash on his watch. His ego will not allow it to happen. He'll push a button and just pull out so the market doesn't crash because he doesn't want people to blame him for it. The trader, you have to see that. That's really what moves the market. You don't have to sit there and say, well, the earnings of this and then the results of this and this. It's like, no, it's literally the only thing pushing the market down is a button that Trump has that says market go down. Yo. What? Real breakfast?
Yeah.
Yo.
I heard that you were eating crumbs.
I was eating crumbs.
So then,
like a peasant.
You usually don't eat breakfast when you're streaming, so I was like,
I'm hungry.
You're eating crumbs, you're hungry.
I'm like scraping the hummus from this jar with my finger.
Just eat a little bit right now. It's fluffy, like.
Oh. Guys, look at this. I have. Hey, Kristen, I'll have to eat
This is
chip
like
crumbs.
leftover juice, like
Chip crumbs anymore.
there's like a little bit left.
Bring it in. Thank you. Look, even with the internet kind of being crazy, we're still making do. It's kind of working a little bit.
You're on a dedicated bandwidth right now.
Good.
No one locals on it.
Awesome. You know, they have a little map that says like where and when.
Where? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's till 9 p.m. tonight.
I saw that. They keep switching it around. They said 2, now they say 9. I'm gonna go to the pool today. Right, I'm just down for pool or something.
Remember that. Please eat a little bit on stream. I want to see people see you eat.
Ow.
I don't think I'm starving you.
It's hot. Oh my god. So good.
Can you blow on it before you eat it?
Thanks, man. That's so good.
Pickle can't hog up the bandwidth movement. It's gonna take up all the.
Get this little wallaby out of here.
Crawfish.
You know we get crawfish today? Yeah, literally no catch. There's no catch to the boot camp. I wanted to do something substantial with my life. I built a trading platform. I built a trading marketplace. We have hundreds of vendors that run their businesses through us now. You know, I'm investing in other businesses. I mean, I'm doing very well in life. And it's like, okay, what do I want to do that's awesome? And I said, I want to make the best day trading education and just basically give it away. I want to undercut every single TikTok Lambo driving wannabe who can never do what I do. And like basically ruin their business by outselling them and making people laugh at how dumb it is that you guys spend a lot of money on the dumbest things. I want people to say that was a memorable experience, what we learned with Matt and his team, and then say like, it's just too good to be true. What's the catch? There was no catch. He loves doing it. He really just wants to slap everyone in the face. Legs and egg day. Legs and eggs, baby. Yeah, Legos, Egos, and Egos. Eggies and Egos. We watched Stranger Things again, and ever since then we've been buying Egos. She brings the Wi-Fi and the breakfast, dude. I'm so lucky. So, MR is a liquidity pocket. Everything that's a liquidity pocket tends to stay inside of the zones, as you see, with a bullish predisposition to go higher. Liquid markets don't crash, so therefore liquidity pockets are always good support and resistance zones. Always longing at the bottom liquidity pocket every single time. Have you heard of Super Boba by Vanessa Lau? No, what is that? There's that resistance off of S&P's illiquidity pivot there. I don't have a really good entry other than entry off of half gap. If we sell today at half gap and top of the box, these are now good long pivots I'll wait for. Like I said, I don't jump in the tail end of a short squeeze. This is a long and this is a long today. So let's get a good one. Super Boba. What be this? Is this a boba place? I'm looking it up right now. So healthier alternatives to traditional bubble teas. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, we've been talking about maybe franchising a boba place. I'll tell you something. My strategy is very simple. All my friends, obviously my girlfriend, our family, you know, all Vietnamese, Asian people love boba. But you know who loves boba as much as you make a ton of money? It is by far such a trend now that everybody in the suburbs are finally starting to get their first boba shop, and they're like, all my friends that have them are just like rolling in dough. So we're trying to target, you know, some good places strategically where there's just like a bunch of young people. You know, I'm sure most every college has something nearby, but a lot of high schools kind of deep in the burbs of Texas are, you know, 10 years behind the city. So we're finding a lot of places we can put something up. Healthy boba tea would be kind of good. Super hot and popular. There's a little area in my hometown that's kind of like a little, kind of like Asian inspired handful of strip centers, kind of all in the same place, and there's all kind of stuff there, restaurants and busy. I think it's at 85 degrees there, and it kind of inspired us. We're like, you know, there's a bunch of suburbs that don't really have something like this, and it would be so cool to kind of get in on that. And she has a little niece who is a baker and bakes like by far, like has her own Instagram and everything. And I'm like, we should get her and build like a concept boba shop bakery sort of thing. Kefir, the yellow line is something called an illiquidity pivot. It's based on something called the margin buffer limit. It's a whole CME group kind of thing. And essentially this is measured from really far in the past. And I just mark them on the chart. I keep history of them right here. And we have this like essentially array of them. And every time we're near one of them, I kind of mark it on the chart. And this was an old one that we had, 59.25. And I don't know why I deleted it. Oh, wait, here it is. Yes. And in our boot camp, we teach you how to calculate it. And it's just basically when the market rallies, that's usually the stopping point of rallying. Anything on vanilla TradingView that shows the same levels? No, nothing. We built our system, and there wasn't a trading platform that could actually do basically price action stuff. We had to create a whole server-based infrastructure to create this technology, and then we had to white label TradingView and build our own cracked up version of TradingView to make it work. So TradingView isn't even powerful enough to do what we need to do. So yeah, unfortunately, Jeff, you have to get like our platform to get our levels. It's the only place that it exists because every other trading platform can't handle it. They all work on price-based information as inputs into their, you know, into all their different types of mathematics that they do in the code. Has everything to do with candle data, and ours is ripping options data. So we had to write a custom coding language and everything. So we had to create an actual language called RocketScript to interact with the options data and the information on the chart and the candle data as well. And not only is the like I said, the platform is not TradingView native, couldn't even handle it, and PineScript couldn't even do the calculations, unfortunately. So we had to build our own coding language and platform, and that's what Rocket Scooter is. It's like a TradingView on crack. So why you'll have to be marked the day it happens. Yeah, you usually want to mark it when it happens so that you don't forget about it. And then a month later, you'll probably revisit the pivot because the yellow line is extrapolating into the future, predicting future high pivots from far in the past. And like I said, usually it's a resistance, and often it can sell off from there. Let's see, we got ES. There is no evidence that anything is going to be selling off. But again, like I said, I want to wait for a pullback, a nice healthy pullback to make a decision off of. If we do fall below this yellow line, for some people that is a chase short. So let it fail to move up and let it fall here and let it test here, and it will fall back down to there. So for those of you that are looking to fade or short this, I always wait for confirmation. I want to let it break, test, and then that's the play, if there is one. And I also will be looking to long from here. That's what I'm looking for today. Up in here, no man's land, just kind of let it be. We don't, and the problem is, Michael, we don't have probabilities on yellow lines because this is one of the things we haven't done enough research on. When it resists, it sells off really hard. Bad longing into it or off of it. Because the half of the time it passes like it did now, like half of the time it breaks through and then it just inches higher. It doesn't pick up a lot of momentum from here, but it could just like inch higher. But the other half of the time that it resists, it sells pretty hard. So because the R&R is pretty bad on the long side, once we approach that, we kind of like end our trading day and take it easy from there. Yeah. Any setups? Well, I draw them on the screen, right? So right now, I mean, the market's been long all day, and I'm looking for pullbacks to get in on. The last thing I ever do is just chase highs on moves like this. This is a pre-monthly expiration short squeeze, which is pretty common. In this kind of environment, we have amazing news. Trade war is being fixed and a bunch of shorts are getting squeezed out. Kind of hoping that monthly expiration would bring them, you know, some selling pressure so they can get out, break even. But a lot of them are panicking and getting out right now. So I took my trades this morning and just kind of chilling and waiting for another setup. Like I'm usually in and out super quick. A little solid play here. Nasdaq is still not picking up too much momentum on the stocks. Nasdaq is still kind of balanced. Nvidia and others are kind of sitting here in a balanced act. Now, again, we're going to watch Nvidia because this is one of the major questions we have. It is rarer. Only 10% of days break through this way, and 90% of days stay contained within the box. So liquidity pockets, while bullish through the box, rarely break and continue to go. So that's why I'm watching this being somewhat possibly a local resistance to the move. It wouldn't be uncommon to see this sort of like fight its way down to here and then go there and then reject and then sort of continue the path forward. That would be a very common move today. So that's fairly bullish through there. It's bullish from here. So the support is strong. And like I said, yellow lines are advantageous short setups. Those of you that are looking to short the market, the easiest confirmation you have is if we fail this yellow line right here, it's going to pick up steam and sell off. So what I do is I wait. And if it happens, I'll be willing to maybe take a short. Yellow lines are 50-50, so we don't really teach you guys a specific strategy on it because it's 50-50. But if it does sell off from there, the R&R is really big. So it's one of those coin flips with the payouts really big and your stop can be tight because it's not a volatile day. We broke through it to the upside, you know your limits. There's no volatility, so you're not going to overshoot and be faked out very easily. You get 40 points of overshoot to confirm or break. So anything that goes above here is the point of no return. So one full strike distance above, this is a see. Just to show you guys a trade in case you're getting bored, I will be willing to take the short from here with resilience being negative. And the S&P resilience is not that negative here. Any short from here is short-lived to those pivots, and that's it. But it can work its way lower down to there and continue to bounce. And that would be an ideal setup for the day. Like I said, I don't chase screens like I'm missing out on something. I wait for something good to play out. Great question, Shagufta. What happens if ES is a higher value? ES always takes precedence. Never bet on the NASDAQ pulling the rest of the market down. Always bet on the ES pulling the market up. So if NASDAQ is going down and S&P is going up, a very simple explanation is people are rotating out of tech stocks. So NASDAQ would be going down, like selling their tech and then jumping into something else. The reason the S&P is still healthy, which means like a one-for-one transfer. People are getting out of one thing and getting into another. So the stock market is more likely to hold flat and drift up rather than to sell off just because the NASDAQ's looking bad. The NASDAQ looking bad is just a warning, but it's not. I never use the NASDAQ as telling me what the market's going to do because it doesn't contain all the sectors. Good question. Do I generally take trades before the streaming pre-market? Not generally, only when the opportunity is there. Digging the background music. I know, like, I feel like it's mellow, man. I like it. I need to go write like 50 more songs though. I've been listening to the same like 40 songs on repeat for about 3 months now. I wrote all these beats with AI, so. Believe it or not. Who's the artist? I am. I typed in the prompt, damn it. Pretty cool, right? This entire playlist you guys jam to every day is AI based lo-fi hip hop beat. How about RTY leaning down? I wouldn't correlate the Russell with the other two at all. There's zero overlap. It's more of a sentiment thing. People will be more likely to buy the Russell when everything else is doing good. People risk on to healthier stuff and bigger stuff first, and the Russell kind of tails behind. Very rarely would you see like the bigger stock market selling off and the Russell rallying. So I wouldn't use the Russell as a precursor to the rest of the market. I treat Russell like it's its own entity, regardless of S&P or NASDAQ. They don't really, while everything goes up when everything goes up, I still don't treat, I don't say like because the S&P is going up, the Russell should go up too. And people have their own reason to trade the Russell. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. That short squeeze is powerful today, man. It's going to probably pick up a lot more momentum from here. Let's watch the S&P today. That's a nice, clean, quick break there. The S&P has a 10-point line in the sand, so let's watch that one too. It's about 35. So while NASDAQ did pop through, the S&P has a 10-point overshoot on this as well. Sit all day waiting for like a nice little pullback here. I see going, man, this is just the same old thing, man. There's gonna be a lot of unhappy bears out there. I've been waking up every day, dude, watching Twitter, and everybody's like, this is it, this is the top. There's a bunch of idiots that put cameras on themselves. I swear to God. I feel like everybody with like a year or two of experience in trading thinks that they need to have an audience listen to them. Ever since April the 10th, I said we're going to all-time highs. It's gonna have a hard time selling off. You'll be dying to find some red, if any at all. That's why like I'm waiting for pullbacks, and like this is like the second day in a row I haven't gotten one. Or second day this week I haven't gotten one. If you can't see the bull market from a mile away, then trading is not for you. People trying to fade this and sell this off for what reason? If the market's gone up, it's got to come down. Once I got that mentality out of my head, I started making a whole lot of money. When the market goes up, it's still going to go up. Markets don't just fall because they're rallying. It's very rare you'll see that. Healthy bull economy, there's nobody betting against this. You need people to have a reason to sell off. You need new news to enter the picture. But Twitter is full of like amateur folks with big followings. Everybody going, you're right. I got my puts, I got my shorts, I'm ready for this. And I'm just like, look, it took me a long time to realize just join the party. Like the bull party lasts a very long time. And it needs bare news to kick in the other direction. Markets don't even go up with extra buying. They just go up with inflation, and just sitting still, they go up. It's like, I've learned to not bet against the bull market. QuantView, the trading bot, never heard of it, man. You want the rocket scooter song on your Spotify lifting list? Bro, that would be so cool to have. Let me see if I can't figure out like a way to get you guys. I could throw all them songs on a Spotify, have our own channel. That'd be cool. AI being the future of trading. AI will never be a successful trading mechanism. There's something distinctly human about successful trading that logic doesn't necessarily help you. AI might be able to get patterns better than a human being, but the stock market inherently has no patterns. Like a very complicated machine learning process would likely be able to discover something that's exploitable. But the stock market as a whole has no patterns. And I think AI has a hard time with something that doesn't have patterns. So I would say that a lot of people think AI is the future of trading, that they can write a little trading bot that can say like, you know, the trading bot, you could put a chart in ChatGPT right now, and the chart will be like, here's a bull flag. We should long here. Or here's people will have to tell AI what to look for, I think, because the things that make the market exploitable aren't necessarily things that you can see on the surface, like the risk interval, for instance. I had to go in and do research and figure out that there's something consistent with the margining process and say, I can exploit this and make a tool. So people are going to have to direct AI in the right direction. But I don't really think AI is going to become like the future of trading anytime soon. It might in the future become sophisticated where it can find something, but the stock market's going to have, you know, because everyone's trading so differently now. Imagine 50 years ago when everybody was trading on Fibonacci's, right? The numbers worked very well because everyone was using them. Now with everybody using a million different techniques, there's like no cohesiveness in the market. So I'm not really thinking that AI, that we're all going to like wake up one day and then, you know, you're gonna have a trading bot from AI that's gonna work, but I see a lot of ads for them. And I think that they're just good at analyzing charts, but you're still playing with the dice roll. Do I still trade SMT, smart money traps? I don't know what that is. That's ICT stuff, right? I don't know exactly how that works because I've never studied it. But I know a lot of people that do use that. When you started with, you were a natural permanent bear, but 2 years later, you forced yourself to always see longs. Always see longs. Yeah, I now see the market go up and say, okay, maybe today's the day it sells off. I say, okay, bullish data, bullish stats. Where can I get in on this long? And then today I'm like, do I went along in the yellow line? Do I went along at the gap? You know, right over here. Where would I go? And today I'd be more willing to long like off of here. That would be great as I drew on the chart. Something like that would be great. Now, if it doesn't play out, it doesn't play out. But for this one, I need confirmation to take the trade, right? The human factor X. Yeah, Eduardo's right. There's just too much human in the stock market that I think the behavioral patterns are going to easily be seen by AI. And AI is just going to basically be 50-50, just like anything else. But it'd be kind of dope if you had like a Tesla Optimus, yeah, sitting here in your chair trading for you. That'd be nice. So stocks really just do go up, man. Everything just goes up. But like in this environment, right, we'll need news to bring it down. And we're squeezing pretty hard in expiration, but this could sell off today to these lines that I drew just to find balance on the market. I think this is a fake rally today, but it's still a bull market. We know we're squeezing and a short squeeze typically doesn't continue to go up forever, but there's not enough volatility for this to sell off. So because of that, I'm not betting short and I'm not betting long. I'm just chilling and waiting. Point of no return is exactly right here. This line in the sand on S&P. If it comes below orange, advantageous short sellers might likely to jump in and take this. But yeah, as Jellybean has said, options positioning is widely available to retail. Not as much edge, but key to our group uses AI to process real time. That's once it's told to point in the right direction. But the probability at which the pivot holds is so AI would have to eventually would assume that the stock market has more pattern than it does. Cameron, oh nice dude, awesome bro. 5947 is key. Sorry, DD level. I think that is correct. Let me double check. Top of my head, I think that's right. 5944, I think. Yeah. How much buffer is needed in an account? If you're trading one E-mini contract, you roughly need about $20,000 for each E-mini at current margining. So to have a significant amount of capital so that you're not blowing up a large percent per E-mini, we roughly recommend that as a rule of thumb, you have at least at minimum the full margin to trade the contract, and don't use discounts, those things. I tell people as a rule of thumb, you want the full margin for every contract you trade. I think margin requirements are roughly like 15 to 20K right now. So to trade, me trading 1 to 2 would roughly be closer to like a 40 to 50K account. But that's just to safely trade. I mean, it's up to you what risk you want to take. My recommendation is like grandpa level trading. Keep things cash equivalent. To trade with an active stop loss, I never use a stop loss. I always manually close at my stop. A stop loss is needed for you to have babying. I think the stop loss is for people to have fake comfort in the market. You put a stop loss on a chart. I'll give you an example. Anybody ever put a stop loss on a chart, but then moved your stop around? Kind of defeats the purpose, right? Because you have something there you can manipulate and change your bias on the fly, it's really a useless tool. You should know where you're going to stop, and it's absolute line in the sand sort of thing, and you pull the plug every time. And that's the way I've always traded. Using stops just gives me another handle for me to doubt myself and stay in the trade longer. Oh, let me just move my stop a couple points. Let me move it some more. And that always has been more of a detriment than a help. Using a stop loss and not using a stop loss, I believe, has made my trading infinitely better because I don't have another psychological thing on the chart to play around with. You know what? It's near my stop. It's near my stop. Let me move it just a little bit. Let me give it some more room. Let me give it some. And we all have done that. And because you can do that, then you're not actually using a stop. You're basically just stopping where you want to anyways in the moment. So I've learned to just pick a spot and close down. The only time I use stop loss is if I'm in a trade and go to bed or I have to step away from my computer. Then yeah, I will use a stop there. But I always know where I'm pulling the plug, and I always pull the plug with no debating myself. I don't even give myself something to look at to be like, all right, that's where I'm gonna, because you will move it around. Same thing. Tyler says the same thing. Just hard stop loss. Right. It's like I use what I call soft stop. I know where I want to get out, and when I get there, I'm taking a second look at it and saying, candles are advancing with advancing volume. Okay, let me get out. Or we fell below my stop loss, and then we bounced up, and then we're falling lower. Okay, let me get out. I have a little bit wider range, but it gives me some time to analyze the market at that level. And I'm very meticulous. My stop loss philosophy is probably one of the best in the business. I basically use volatility to throttle how much I'm going to overshoot a pivot. Like this line in the sand I drew with just 10 points above 59.25. Look how close that was. If I had a hard stop and I was shorting this, I would have been squeezed and ultimately right? So usually we get a nice exhaustion candle that tucks back in, and then I'm watching it to see what's happening. Now we have advancing candles with declining volume, which means the algorithms have picked this up to price this lower. So that is like next level stop philosophy. And we do teach that in the classes. But as a new trader, use a stop loss. Trust you to pull the plug though. So I teach people, use a stop loss, use a hard loss. Don't copy cello. And I'm playing a cello in a car while driving with my feet. It's so easy for me at that point. I can be in the boat that I can start challenging myself to do things a little more professional, something like that. So you have extreme amounts of discipline, right? And now in my career, I feel like I have extreme amounts of discipline. I never get fumbled up. I never bag hold. I'm like, maybe I'll keep holding. I never, that kind of downward spiral I'll get caught in where you move a stop and you lose more, then you move a stop and lose more, then you move a stop and you add to it and lose more. Hasn't happened to me in years. I tend to know when I'm wrong, and I have like 100% ability to leave, like extremely methodical like that. But because of that, a stop loss is just an extra hurdle that makes me like have something visual to doubt my original choice. Because it's so easy to just move that thing around. You know what? Let me just move it a couple points. Let me just move it a little bit. And then to me, I found out that if I don't put anything there, I will stop when I want to. And I learned this from Neil deGrasse Tyson. You guys know the Hayden Planetarium guy, the scientist, the one that did the new Cosmos show. He, I think it was on Joe Rogan, and he has like his phone without a case on it. And he's like sitting there twirling his phone while they're talking. He's just doing this. And they were like, dude, what? He was like visibly getting nervous. He was like, what are you doing? Like, you're like playing with your phone without a case, a screen protector on it. You're going to drop your phone and break it. And he looks at them and he goes, no, I won't. He goes, what if you do? And he goes, I won't. I won't drop my phone. He's like, how do you know you won't drop your phone? He goes, because I won't drop my phone. me finish the story in a minute. So essentially what he was saying was, he was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to drop my phone. And then they were like, I think it was Joe Rogan or whoever was like, yeah, no, you, what if you do? And he's like, but I won't. And he goes, how do you know you won't? He goes, you know, medieval knights are trained to never drop their sword. In the military, you know, when they spin their gun and stuff, you train to do that so that you focus on what it is you're holding so that you don't drop it. Why you don't drop it is because you're focused. And he said medieval knights would train, when they're squires, they would train to never take their sight or their hands off their sword. Once you drop in battle, you're dead. So never drop your sword. He goes, I'm never going to drop my sword. And he goes, well, how do you know? He goes, because I'm paying attention to it. I don't need protection because I'm watching it. It was always such a powerful thing to me to think about. Was it Neil deGrasse Tyson and Joe Rogan? Yeah, he's like, I don't need protection because I'm paying attention. If I have protection, it's a false sense of security, and I may get clumsy with my phone and stop paying attention, and therefore I might drop my phone. He says the fact that I don't have it on there reminds me to pay attention, and therefore I've never cracked a screen in my life, and he's sitting there doing that with his phone. How cool is that, right? Think about it. Don't give yourself false senses of security that prevent you from paying attention. Why do I not need to stop? Because I never am not paying attention. Even when I'm taking a leak, I'm still paying attention. I don't just take a leak recklessly and like, no, I know that the market's going to hold up at that pivot anyways for like 10 minutes. You know, that's a camera trick. You're going to hit monthly hedge pressure and it's going to fumble there for a little bit before it does sell off. So I know I got some time to take a leak, but I know the market that well, right? So that's why I tell people it's really smart, right? If you think about it. You still keep a sword next to your bed to sleep tighter? Yeah. What, there's a news candle which you can never control? Aha, so let me teach you something about the news. So, right, if there's a news candle, so number one, don't trade near the news. Number two, random news can come out and zap you. And yeah, I could take a loss on that, but watch this, right? The market absolutely moves in discrete intervals even when news comes out. If you go look at this, the S&P is going to move a certain distance and halt before it continues to move. It never falls like a million or infinite amount of points. There's always a discrete day trade is rare of the rare of the rare. Maybe 1 out of 1,000 or fewer trades. So I'm never trading into the news. And then I use my intuition to say, could there be news today? Well, okay, what news could we have to bring the market down? Say that I'm longing without a stop. What kind of news could happen that could bring the market down? Trump could come out of nowhere, or China can come out of nowhere and say we're not working on a deal. That's really the only thing that can happen. And he's been so predominantly pushing the idea that buy stocks now, we're going to make a deal, that news is not going to happen. right? So I use that to increase my confidence that there's not going to be any bad news events. But the other thing is that even if you use a stop, it doesn't really help you. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when news happens that is not falling to what we call the risk interval, which is the first halt point before it falls, there's another thing that happens. If the markets fall too far too fast, it doesn't even matter where your stop is. If the market falls beyond that interval, what happens is even if your stop was here, you get filled right here because you're a retail trader. A stop just triggers a market order that fires a sell order at the market. And your sell order hits a buffer and it gets filled at the next liquidity point, especially if something called velocity logic is triggered, where the market trades down so far so fast that actually the market just halts trading for a split second and then gaps down and reopens down here. Even with the stop here, you don't get filled here, and that's the misconception. If you are in an event, the stop gets triggered lower anyways. So it's not like it saves you. And you can learn this. I can tell you, you can learn this the hard way. Go to the CPI. The minute before the CPI, long the market with the stop or short the market with the stop. You might think, oh, I can make a $10,000 if I'm right and lose $50 if I'm wrong. And whatever happened that way, your stop loss will get filled at a very bad spot because it's a market order anyways. So the idea that a stop loss will save you in a news event, it might lessen the blow of not using one, but you still both take big losses when you're wrong. So the idea that in the rare event that, yes, it could maybe lessen a loss if you're on the wrong side of a spontaneous news event that is rare enough to catch anyways. In the last 3 months of trading, I got busted spontaneously in a news event one time. And I took a loss that day. Like Trump said something. I was actually taking a tiny short the few times I do short. And then Trump said something and it went way against me. And then, okay, I probably lost like 2,000 per account or 3,000 per account or something. It wasn't a lot. I think I lost like maybe 6 or 7K that day. But every other day was winning. So great question, right? You guys use stop losses. Don't subscribe to my crazy theory of why I don't. That I don't need to put a screen protector on my phone. But that's me. And that's because I'm where I am on my own trading journey. For everyone else, can I tell you a joke? All right. What is one of my favorite jokes that won't get me canceled online? I'll have to think about it. Somebody says, dude, I'm tripping. What does that even mean? Am I stumbling over my own feet? What am I tripping on? Let me show you guys something you've never seen before. I've read every single patent the CME Group has issued. You guys want to learn something? Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. This might be loud. Hold on. So a lot of this stuff here that we exploit.
Welcome.
So there's a protocol that what happens is if the market moves too far too fast, this is what the CME Group actually does. If you move very quickly in a small amount of time, you will actually see futures will stop trading. If you go to a tick chart, you'll see it. Tick charts will have like these non-overlapping red candles that do this. And then all of a sudden, like basically volume will spike really heavily and then go to zero. And then spike again as trading resumes at the new level. And then candles are picking back up there. In a minute, in a single candle though, in a time candle, it might just look like something like this, okay? Like a candle with a wick. On a tick chart, you'll see discreetly where essentially the market pauses trading. They have an auction with the dealers, just say, you know, we need to have you mobilize liquidity lower. They jump in, put it there, then they gap the price to that spot, and then trading resumes. If your stop loss was here or here or here or anywhere, it doesn't matter. You get filled right here if this is triggered. And a news event that's that powerful will almost, it's basically a small circuit breaker to keep the market from just falling to zero on a massive event. It allows market makers a split second to mobilize liquidity. It's a pretty cool process.
Order is temporarily suspended. All associated options markets.
Okay. So what happens is futures market is temporarily suspended, like for it's like a second of time. It's really small.
Are also general Globex reference sheet.
And so the cool thing about like with your stop being, so I like teaching people about this. There's a lot of little systems in place that try to keep the market stable in large events, basically. And like in an event like this where the market just dives really quick and then starts trading, if I had my stop here, 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 trust me, you'll get filled at the bottom a lot more times than you think. Normally news will fall a risk interval distance on most news events that spontaneously happen. And the S&P is roughly 60 points. So in the worst case scenario that I get caught without a stop and then the S&P just nosedives, 60 points, that's a $3,000 loss on one contract. I'm totally okay with that. The rare probability that that happens, I'll take my lick and be okay with it. And then half the time the news will go in your favor. So it's kind of like, it kind of just isn't something I worry about. It's rare that it does happen. Oh, Leaker says you're on a different channel. Okay, it's okay, bro. I was like, what am I tripping about? I was like, well, some people don't like the fact that I personally don't use hard stops. And it makes a lot of sense, but it's just my weird way of trusting my own methods that I don't really need to. But yeah, you're all good, man. You're all good. Like Matt reads patents for fun. I'm not that fun of a person, I guess. I read nerdy stuff. How do I do? Hold on, somebody messaged me something. Out there I don't know about. Let me look this up. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what a footprint chart is. I don't know everything. Volume footprint chart. Let's take a look at this. Let me see if I can figure out what it is though. Oh, okay. I've seen this before. It's the volume distribution. Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what this was called. I never knew the name for it. Okay. Essentially what this is you are seeing the entire candle and where the bulk of volume was in that candle in that period of time. On volume footprint chart, it'll have blank bid and ask level. So I'm assuming that this is the candle. Yeah. And this was the ask and this was the bid. So why would it be blank sometimes? Probably just because there were no active orders there. Or that the price moved very rapidly and then essentially the dealer maybe moved their bid and there was nothing in between. Like essentially somebody sold really big and the dealer moved their bid to here and caught it and there was zeros in between it. But little things like that. Velocity logic on the candle would be like, it wouldn't be zeros. It would basically just be buying out what the bidder ask was. It'd be very small. So you might see like a single candle with like 80,000 or 80, 100, 200, 86. And you might see like the bid and ask is like 5 or 10. In a logic event, you'll see 5, 5, 5, 5, 10, 5, 2, as it just basically gobbles up all the tiers in a flash. That's what it normally will look like. Is that it just kind of gobbles them all up. And so you won't really be able to see it on this kind of chart because there is still volume in those candles, but it's not like the market is dancing around. It's just like it eats up the entire ask. It's like if you look at the level 2, you would have bids all the way down. If you paid for level 2 data, you would see that. It would be exactly what the level 2 was in the volume, and that's all it would be. But yeah, it could be, it would just be like again, it wouldn't be zeros, but a zero could be that there was just no order there at that moment in time. Good question. A stop limit is not a bad idea. A stop limit is a great idea. For you guys, don't do the funky thing I do. Stop limit is a great idea. How strong of a confluence is NVIDIA? I mean, it's probably one of the biggest deciding factors of both markets right now. I like to watch NVIDIA and the improbable things that it could do. This is a small probability NVIDIA was going to break out. But I was just basically watching that because I'm looking for clues anywhere for abnormal things. How do I spend all that money I make? My girlfriend loves Birkin bags. Just kidding. I mostly reinvest all my money. You're not getting any kind of anything today. Nasdaq's well beyond the line in the sand, 440. Continual break to keep going. And I don't have any, I know I was longing today, but I don't have any good pivots to trade off of. We pushed just way too hard off of news to get like anything solid to trade off of, unfortunately. It'd be nice if I had something better, but all right, about 20 more minutes till we turn into the hour at lunchtime. This is a good stream, you guys. I had a good time with y'all. We'll still be here for a little bit, but thanks for being here with all the craziness of the ups and downs of the market. I really appreciate you guys for being as awesome as you are. There is like zero downside pressure from here. S&P kind of sitting at its same little line in the sand here. About 59.35, we're going to watch that today. So again, no trading this, no shorting this, nothing. I want to see what happens if the S&P gets below here. Then we can move. But right now, everything's just looking pretty solid. But just like the other day, I don't chase at highs. I always wait for an opportunity. There's always an opportunity to trade. If today there's any pullback, we're going to have really strong pressure from here and here. So these are all good pivots so long enough if I do get lucky and get a pullback. Bum, 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 bum. I have a friend of mine that has a whole arsenal built into almost like a vault with a giant metal door. You open it and it's like hundreds of guns, and it looks nice in there. It looks cool the way he has it all organized and everything. Good investment. Ricky, awesome, dude. Welcome to the channel. It would be so nice to get this market to do something good. I hate chasing, inching up trading like this. Even though the market is very solid and bullish, I do really want to see a good dip to stay long on, as we don't really bet against bull markets. And the short squeeze potential here is real. Nasdaq is just going ape shit today. I caught some of that long, but this is certainly like an exhaustion point for sure on NQ. But we're in the line in the sand right here on S&P, so Nasdaq is climbing very rapidly. But Nasdaq's already broken through its little line in the sand. That's insane. Nice and bull. All indicators are bullish. That was probably exhaustion, I would say, on the Nasdaq, at least for now. I think the market's going to stop its move higher and then consolidate again. This is a little much. Nvidia just, dude, that short squeeze. I mean, the market is extremely bullish, but it's just crazy to watch it just walk straight there. Look at this, man. Look at this Nvidia today. Dude. That was pretty much the same kind of trading day we had yesterday too. And the day before. Consolidation, rip and rally. I'd say maybe not like yesterday, but like 2 days ago, same thing, same thing. Oh yeah, just the resolve of the trade war. And see, that was the only thing pushing the market lower. And then basically there's really nothing that's allowing the short trade to have momentum. There's nobody's selling. I mean, nobody wants to sell this. We're going back to all-time highs and S&P line in the sand right here. Right at 35. I have this like suspicion that we're gonna get some ridiculous candle from here. Just like straight up pop. And we'll see. Yeah, like 3 really rapid squeezes in succession today. On tick chart, the orders have come in through so fast. Like, this is where everybody that's trying to short the market is finally feeling the heat of the burn. So we're watching Nasdaq on a tick chart today. 416 hour at 490. We've got like 30 points in the last 5 minutes. So it's picking up some momentum for sure. But with the stocks moving like the way that they are, especially like Nvidia just moving straight up. I mean, look at this. Look how crazy that is. They're really squeezing people out today. Apple, Amazon. I would love to get a nice little long off of this though. That would be awesome to me. But something about today just being short squeezy rather than just actually like based on momentum or news, it does have me like a little concerned with the sustainability of the move. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything not jumping in from here. Like, I have no place to enter from anyways. And we'll just see what happens. Oh, there's a red line here as well. But yeah, there's no evidence people are selling off. As a matter of fact, the stocks just took another leg up. And people are just getting freakishly covered. This could end up here. Nobody a chance to pause and jump in on this because it's such an obvious long to take. It would be so lovely if we got something to kick us to a low to buy. But I hate chasing pennies at the top. I really do. I have no desire to jump in and take risk on this one. But we'll see what happens. Usually with consolidation here, this is your new low of the day. So even if this does anything, we can see if that turns into an event in there. Yep, monthly expiration tomorrow. It's a big part. It's a big part of the run up. Yep, you guys nailed it. So I'm talking right now. I don't have any of my news stuff up today, so you guys will have to let me know. What's he saying? How can I not feel like you're missing out on anything? I look at my bank account and I tell myself I don't ever miss a damn thing. If you feel like you're missing something, you're a gambler. That's it. I look at how much money I make and I miss out anything. I'm exactly where I want to be. That's the secret to it. Right? A trader, I was the first person to long this morning, right? I was long here and I took my profit here. But that was worth like 7,000 bucks. I don't need to chase every single thing that moves. Even though I think it's going to be bullish, I only trade when there's a discount. I only buy when there's a discount, only sell when there's premium. I don't see something move to the top and say, let me try to long here to bet that it keeps going. Why would I want to be in at the middle or the end of a move? So for me, it's like, I'd rather miss out on the last bit of the move here than to be the last sucker to a party when the market can give me a better option, as it does pretty much multiple times a day. There's always I would have lost at the end. Jump to the high, lost. 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 Right? Some days it seems to be like it'll pay out, but don't let that cloud your judgment, because most of the time it's going to be random what happens. I made somebody's bi-weekly salary in 5 minutes just right here. In this particular instance, I don't need that to put millions of dollars in my bank account. I need to be consistent with this. The part that I know it's predictable. If it continues to rally up, that's doesn't mean anything, right, to me. But if I get a strong pivot off of something that makes sense, then that means something. So if the market's like selling, like today, market's selling and I'm grabbing that dip. When other people are selling, I'm in. When other people are buying, if I get in, then I'm kind of the foolish one. And doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. It means that half of the time I'm the last person in as it falls. The other half of the time I make a few extra bucks. And I don't want to be the risk to make a few extra bucks. I call it, I want to pick up pennies in front of a steamroller. It doesn't mean I think the market's selling off. There's no volatility. There's no pullback. But there could be one. There could be some price news. Trump could say something. Anything can happen to give me a dip to buy. I'm always on the sidelines waiting for that moment. And then I always seem to get something out of it, right? 7K is a lot. People do, oh, well, jokes aside, and people always think that, you know, the big moves are what make the big money. And maybe when you go on Twitter, half the influencers made something today, half the people lost something today. They're quiet. And it's not, the glory isn't found in catching the big waves up. The glory is found in consistency. Good market, bad market, bull market, bear market. Do what you do well and do it well. Catching big waves is for, you know, kids and options gamblers. It's really a gamble. To hold and hold on all day and hope you make a lot of money. That doesn't sound like a solid investment strategy, but finding liquidity and longing it really does. And so up here, the market's not necessarily liquid. We're in the middle of a short squeeze that's giving me no opportunity to trade from. I do have a couple of pivots up here that I can play on. 465 could be a nice long entry for me to take for the continual rally up. And I'm contemplating where I could get in on this if I wanted to find a good scalp. All the evidence is good right now that the market is supporting. And let me go see, like, in the stocks, do I have any kind of support here? NVIDIA bouncing on bull zone would be something that can give me confidence today of a dip, right? Normally, you don't break into bull zone and keep going without testing. Normally, you always see the market pull back to here and then test. That's why I said this is probably an exhaustion point at this moment in time, because NVIDIA got squeezed to high heavens, which is usually abnormal. Normally, when you break out of a liquidity pocket, you pop and it does something, and then it usually tries to test that the market is being that bullishness from there. So as NVIDIA is trying to perform this test right now, the market's likely to consolidate and pull lower just a little bit. And I'm going to watch NVIDIA while I'm looking at the NASDAQ and trading. This, by far, betting on a bull break that continues to go is, to me, not something I want to take that bet. Yeah, take a look. And it got some momentum there. But Tesla still kind of doesn't have any evidence of a pullback inside of here. But NVIDIA, that's like the smoking gun today. Let's check it out. That's what really exhausted this move up. And we'll see if NVIDIA does make its way. Usually if you open a liquidity pocket, you close in a liquidity pocket as well. So some of the bigger stocks, you tend to stay in the same place you open in. It is rare that you break and keep going. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but it's the rare case. So because of this, I don't want to take a bet on the rare case. I'd rather wait to see what happens if NVIDIA tucks back in here and keeps going. So I'm a different kind of trader. Wait for something that's better. There is like absolutely no evidence of a pullback though. But the idea that the market will exhaust on a move like this, it has me, you know, kind of like, where can I get in, right? It's really hard to find a spot to get in on. In any moment in time, it can just, you know, fly in either direction. No evidence that people are going to sell, but I always like to wait just to see if they do, then I can be the next person. Everything here over the next hour just to take profit on this big leg up for expiration. That could bring the market lower, and then I can be the opportunity there for me. Instead of being the person that's like, okay, the reason it's up here are people that are frantically covering shorts to get out of the way. I don't think anybody's like, oh, this is a deal, let me get in on this. This is a fueled short squeeze. It's easy to see that from the shape of the move. I don't feel like I'm going to get bulls coming in after me. As soon as they're done squeezing out all the people that were shorting into the trade war, then the market's going to restabilize. So the last thing I do is be bulling at the top in a short squeeze. There's always a pullback. There's always an entry to get. So we'll find it. I'm not in any hurry to get back any of the 6K or whatever I made today. I'm pretty solid. The appropriate spot for this to be is here. It's very unusual for us to continue to move from here. NASDAQ is following the bigger stocks, and NVIDIA, like any other stock, would more likely need to test bull zone bottom. It's almost always the case. That's why I'm like, okay, let's see what happens if NVIDIA performs its test. Right? This is very likely to do this. And then we'll pick up more momentum here if it's going to continue to rally. Very uncommon for this just to keep going. This would be a very powerful, and I wouldn't take away from this market's short squeeze potential at this point. This right here is sheer panic. This isn't bulls coming in, pure panic on shorts. So once that panic dies out and they get everybody out of that trade, whatever it is, NVIDIA is very likely to be here by the end of the day. Trust me on that one. So we'll see. Yeah, I think everything is going to be going up all week, all month, actually. What was my setup on the open? I longed at MHP at the bottom. Today was such a straightforward trading day. It was a super easy day today. We dipped towards MHP. I just loaded up longs. MHP resilience was positive. I bought the dip and then traded the half cap. That was it. So I just took that initial scalp out the door. But this move is incredible. Very nice. You know, rip if anybody's trying to short this, but you know, we don't short bull markets. All right, guys, I haven't spooled my ads for a little bit. Did you guys see what our prop firm partners are up to here? Don't forget to use code Rocket Scooter everywhere we go. We turn these into giveaway accounts for you guys every single day. To about 100 accounts given away on our stream every single month. And that number only goes up the more we do with these guys. So feel free to take a look at all that we have to offer. Tomorrow we'll be giving away 2 funded accounts with Elite Trader funding. They have Any Trump talks later today? Probably so. All right, guys. What? Actually, I'll stream for maybe a little bit longer. What do y'all think? All right, the trading plan, this stuff. We love you to death. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out of here. My normal time to kind of dive out of this is, you know, closer to like 1 or 2 my time, but you know, you guys have hung here long enough, and we'll see how bright and early tomorrow. We'll be here at 8:30 in the morning Eastern, just like we are every single day at our pre-market. Hopefully, the internet will be back and we should be good there. 50K prop account with no trailing drawdown. How much buffer is needed in account size like you? John Gilbert, ask me in the boot camp. I answer questions like that all day long. I'm done. Yeah, I'm out. Boot camp will work out tonight because I do have internet now. I'm tethering off internet feed that should be working, so we should be fine. Great day today. Whatever was $6,000. Did good. Love it. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Market spinning in chaotic haze. Rocket scooter blast through the maze. The scene, hidden notes like ghosts unseen. Reverse engineered, see the light. Illuminate the darkest night. Rocket scooter has got the key. Pull back curtains, let me see where institutions hide. Doubt can't live where you reside. Trends we ride with heads held high. Resilience makes the weak ones fly. Future volume crystal clear. Rocket scooter leads no fear.